I get asked all the time, what is a vigilante? What does it mean to be a vigilante? And so to explain that, I'm just going to kind of explain where the vigilantes came from. When I started the group, I honestly thought there was going to be like 10 or 20 people who really like the scrap that would want to be a part of the behind the scenes, helping pick out the guests and make the questions. And I never dreamed that the vigilantes would grow into what it has grown into. Over 700 like-minded souls. If you're a vigilante, you are never alone. We have members from across the country. We have members from across the globe. And it's just amazing what it's become. If you're in there, then you get to be in the Discord. And the Discord is where we do all of our discussions and people go live and they talk and they ask questions. And we have a channel for bitching and moaning, for presenting classes. It's amazing the fellowship that is involved in being a vigilante. And it's not just that, there's so many other benefits. You get access to the vigilante only swag shop. You get the 15% discount on all merch from Firehouse Vigilance. You get the after parties. You get the vigilante get-togethers when we're all at the same place and we get together and we raise a glass and do a toast and have the vigilante creed. You get the vigilante coin when you hit your 1-year anniversary with your number. The fireaways, the forums, the archives, all of the quarterly projects that are coming that you get to be a part of and get to be behind the scenes on. It's grown into something bigger than I ever imagined. And I want people to know about it. I want people to be a part of it. If you're not a vigilante, why not? I don't know how big it could be. I don't know. I mean, the vigilantes are where the work is at. They're the ones who are getting stuff done. And it's phenomenal to be a part of it. I wanted to get on here and explain where it started, how it came to be, and ask you, if you're not a vigilante, why not? Go to patreon.com/thevigilantes. That's where you sign up. It is $5 a month. I mean, you can't even get a cup of coffee for that anymore. $5 a month and you get to be a part of this unbelievable group. Go to patreon.com, sign up, become a vigilante, and I will see you on the Discord.
In the demanding world of firefighting, training against real-world scenarios is crucial. Yet traditional training facilities often fall short in providing realistic, versatile, and cost-effective training solutions. Affordable Drill Towers presents a groundbreaking solution. By positioning an affordable drill tower alongside your existing Connex boxes burn buildings, a realm of realistic, multi-level training scenarios is unlocked. This integration has been adopted successfully by various fire departments, enhancing their training capabilities exponentially. Delve into the heart of live fire training scenarios within the Connex boxes, now amplified by the ADT's multi-floor access, providing an unparalleled training ground.
We started looking at Connex boxes about probably 10 years ago. To me, you can't beat them, especially for the price. The Affordable Drill Tower was the same way. We've got 6 floors, we've got standpipes on every floor, we've got more anchor points than you can count, we've got removable floors, removable stairs. We can go into the 2nd and 3rd floor off the drill tower, so whether you want to use it as an external stairwell or a high-rise, we can do all that and mimic just about any type of situation that the members of the fire department might encounter.
Experience cost-effectiveness, enhanced realistic training, versatile operations, easy multi-floor access, and innovative solutions to age-old training challenges. Take your fire department's training to the next level with Affordable Drill Towers. Reach out to Affordable Drill Towers to elevate your training capabilities today.
Corley Moore, Firehouse Vigilance. It is weekly scrap number 313. My guest tonight is Curt Isakson. And to say that I am amped up for this episode is a wild understatement. It is Chief Ike back once more on the scrap, and I am excited. May 21st, 1988. That's when he got his first set of bunker gear. And now we fast forward a very freshly retired after a very long career at Escambia County, a very long fire service career overall. He is County Fire Tactics and has been making a huge impact on the fire service nationally and internationally through his conferences for more than a decade. He is a world-renowned public speaker and educator, author, and these are just some of the highlights of the things he has been involved in. On a personal note, He has been an inspiration to me and is one of the reasons that Firehouse Vigilance even exists. So this is his 6th appearance on the Scrap, and I could not be more ready. Welcome to the Scrap once more, Curt Isakson, my brother, for episode number 313. And I'm not sure where Curt went.
You said I had 5 minutes.
No, we're live, my brother.
Okay, I thought you had to play some promo video or something.
It's all done, and you are kicking it.
Okay.
You are all introduced. Is there anything you would like to add to the introduction?
No, I'm just damn fucking excited to be here. I mean, I'm going to use more cuss words tonight because I'm not supposed to use 4-letter words when I speak because of the way my dad trained me. But I'm not teaching tonight, and I think everybody was warned that this might not be kid appropriate. But I'm just excited, man, after a 3-year battle with depression and confusion, anxiety, and stress, and just a new, fresh, open mind. Currently retired from active duty, assigned to a fire department with a 56-hour work week. I have nothing, my 100% focus now, obviously first and foremost is Jessica and the kids, but CFT. I've never, ever been able to just fully focus on CFT from top to bottom. In fact, I just flew in this afternoon. I actually flew there and flew back to Memphis to make sure I was back for the Scrap. And just before we started Scrap, actually the CFT team was backing in a big trailer. They drove to Memphis. So great trip. Taught 2 days ago, all day lectures, some chiefs from the city of Memphis. The chiefs at West Memphis put the thing on, and it was phenomenal. It was exciting. It was exhilarating. After months of not speaking, to get to speak to a bunch of firefighters from Arkansas, Tennessee, Mississippi. We were at a casino hotel, had a brand new 6-story, and right off the bat, we had a failure of the standpipe system, complete failure, blew a riser line. It was crazy. And then my buddy Daniel Mills used to be a lieutenant ladder 12. He's now battalion chief at Destin. His last shift, 2 o'clock in the morning, they got called to a high-rise condominium where the riser blew up and flooded 3 floors of a condominium high-rise. It's less than 20 years old, and the salt air took the bolts where it clamps the riser together and blew, sure. And the entire high-rise standpipe system was out of service.
Just draining right there on those floors. Woo!
Yeah.
Now excited.
And we had 5 system failures out of 10 years at H-Rock, and the Hilton's was less than 20 years old. So we talked about that in Memphis. We went by 750 Adams Avenue the other night, which April 11, 1994, I'm very intimate with that fire. When it happened, I studied it significantly. My dad being, serving in the Air Force, Korean conflict, Vietnam. When I got my first set of bunker gear on May 21st, 1988, it was the Hackensack fire was the first fire that my dad made me study via Kramer versus Kramer, working fire. There were old VHS tapes that came out every month. So my whole career dating back to 1988 is if there's only one thing you study, you always study line of duty deaths. So to pay my respects and go to 750 Adams Avenue it was last night. Last night was a big deal. The alarm activation, and I don't second guess them. I mean, a lot of stuff I do is because I don't want to disrespect those that paid the price and are 6 feet under. But for anybody that's not familiar with it, alarm activation on arrival, 14-story building, nothing showing. They did like they always did, a group of firefighters, engine 7, and then got in the elevator. They had their inch 3/4 hose packs. No big deal to ride in the elevator. Opens up on the 9th floor and it's lights out. And they're stuck on the 9th floor. So, just a quick nugget starting right off the Scrap. No matter what you're doing, when you get on an elevator, you need to know where the closest stairwells are in that building. So if that happens to you, you have an idea where to go to get to a stairwell, much less, we all know, we know because of these incidents to get off 2 floors below. Don't ride the elevator to the floor that the enunciator panel says that it's activated because there's, smoke and that sort of thing. So, and that fire was only 3 years after the One Meridian Plaza fire with the PRV valves and 36 gallons a minute. But I want to get into that a little bit later tonight because the first HROC, my full thing on the brochure was about my education as a fire inspector and arson investigation school that I went to right after the fire academy, over 30 years ago. And I said it in 2013. I wrote it in a letter or the opening thing for the conference that the worst high-rise fires have yet to happen in this country. And since then, there's been some real bad ones around the world. Brent Brooks from Toronto is actually down in Chile right now doing some training. So, we closed out HROC after 10 years, and it's closed. But I'll make an announcement now. A year from this November will be HROC International. And HROC used to just be 3 days. Tuesday, Wednesday was lecture. Thursday was hands-on. But HROC International will be a full 5 days with 3 days of hands-on options. Or for chiefs, they could just take 5 days of lecture. But we're going to be bringing in people from all over the world. Spain, obviously the London Fire Brigade, guys like Gerard Mann out of Australia. And Brooksy's leading that up. He's heading it up because we got a lot of work to do because we're going to see more and more system failures where we're going to have to know how to do these vertical rope stretches, modified fixed fire protection systems off of our static hose beds because Destin's just had 2 failures, of systems. They didn't have a fire. Well, they actually did have a fire the other night, electrical fire, burn up an entire, panel. But just like, yesterday, that 6-story parking garage where they've already had 2 working car fires in that parking garage, it's only a couple of years old and the system blew right off the bat as soon as we charged it.
Dang. We're already started. We are already started. All right. It's going to be a good night. That's all I can say. I wish I could catch you up on, you're going to have to go back and read the chat, Chief, because there's so much hype. So yeah, there it is. Real quick, you have a package from Firehouse Vigilance that was sent to you. It's a very important thing. I asked you not to open it, although you're smart enough to have deduced.
I didn't open it.
I know, but
Still...
I know you know. It's all time. It's time. Go ahead.
Am I approved to open it?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Hey, I didn't do like we did when we were kids. You took the razor knife.
Yeah.
You opened it up and then I didn't do that. I did though. I wanted to see how it would fit.
Right. I called Jessica to get the size, so we can always, There you go. I love them, dude. I don't know why they make me laugh. They make me feel so good when I see them. People, it's awesome.
The only person that's gonna make fun of it is a fucker that don't have one.
I love it. And there's only 5 in existence. There are only 5 people who have been on the scrap to join the Pentasodalitas, the Elite 5 Club.
Hey, I'm telling you what, it fits perfect.
Good.
I'm a 44 regular.
Your wife.
I saw some of my brothers up there because they're on the CFT team. Their sleeves are crazy or whatever. This thing fits perfect, man. The sleeves are perfect. I mean, it's just like I got white on. You know what white's for, man? Everybody, you can have a fresh start. You don't have to wait till January 1st. You have to wait till Monday. You can start today.
Looks good on you, Chief.
All white, clean. Got the jacket. I think I could be the bellhop guy at a nice 5-star hotel like the JW.
I like it. You make it look good. So
Can I keep it on the whole night?
Oh, dude, as long as I don't know how warm it is in the room there because that thing actually.
Oh, I got the AC cranking at the cottage, babe.
Good. Hey, and this is the thing is, I was super. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for being involved with the scrap from the get go. Being a supporter and not just supporter, but making it. I mean, because of you and your support and the network, some of the biggest names have come on the scrap, and so it means a lot to me. A, that you're back again. And B, to give you that jacket for being on 6 times.
And I appreciate it. I've always backed it. And we can't talk about it on here live, but I'm still working on people that I want on the scrap more than you do.
Oh yeah.
It's just patience, you know what I mean? And that's it. So just chilling out and waiting to happen. But I do gotta make sure because I couldn't survive. So everybody sitting in my Lazy Boy from Brandon Dunn Fire Station Furniture.
Right on.
the best furniture out there. And I tell you what, whoever's coming to Water on the Fire or any of our big 5-day conferences like ODP, we've never done this. That aquamarine room, Corley, there on the first floor, that smaller room, we kind of hang out with the CFT. We're going to set it up. Fire station furniture is going to have 6 lazy boys, a big screen TV. It's going to have a coffee maker. It's going to have a kitchen, custom built kitchen table of fire station furniture with a CFT, main logo in the center. And then have it's worth the risk. It's going to be a 12-person custom built fire station furniture table with 12 seats like you and Sam are sitting in around it. So that's 12 plus a 6, 18. And then we're going to have this other little area, and it's going to be kind of like a VIP room for different things. So maybe if you got a group of your vigilantes, right?
Yeah.
They go in there, CFT 100 members, and it'll just be a place where they can go up to the Hilton bar, buy a drink, and then that's just like a VIP room. 6 lazy boys, we'll have, a movie on the TV or whatever. You'll just have a bunch of, whoever, we might have Chief Thompson sitting at the table and people just brainstorming, asking him questions. Have awesome. Todd in there and Rob, and hell, we might even just have a damn red coat night.
Yeah, the Pentasota Elitis room. I love it. That's gonna be awesome. No.
Yeah, so that's gonna be cool. And I can't not do it, man, because and also gotta say shout out to the Elkhart guys. Just like all the equipment we just took over there. And I tell you folks, man, tonight I don't talk a lot about training. And it was brought up while we were in West Memphis and Memphis. It's like, man, the amount of training you can get off of these brass tacks videos. And I don't sanction a lot of things. I want to know the author. I don't want to know the quality, but the brass tacks videos, man, my 2 boys have to watch them all. It's just it's just too much stuff.
Premium. I mean, the best get to do them, and they're produced so well. Quick, before I'm gonna get my sponsors out of the way so that we are unfettered and there's nothing. Then we can go wherever you want to go. So here we go. Let's talk about those beautiful sponsors. When it comes to building your perfect attack package, you can't just slap any nozzle on any hose and hope for the best. That's a recipe for failure. At Snap Tight Hose, they are not just trying to sell you hose. They are there to make sure you get the right hose paired with the right nozzle for your crew and conditions. Their team of experienced reps knows their stuff inside and out, and they're ready to help. No ego, no judgment, because knowledge is power. And at Snap Tight Hose, they bring both. Visit snaptighthose.com to connect with a rep and start building your ideal hose and nozzle package today. Affordable Drill Towers, on a mission to bring you cost-effective and versatile training props, like the Affordable Bailout Prop, which allows you to practice window bailouts, ladder bailouts, and ladder high point rescues. They also make the Affordable Standpipe Prop, which you can roll into the classroom for standpipe theory and then roll it into the parking lot and pump realistic flows and pressures. And of course, their mainstay, the Affordable Drill Tower. It comes in several configurations and standard with the standpipe system. Choose from 1 or 2 sets of stairs, integrate it into your existing Connex boxes for multi-story access or freestanding on a slab. All models NFPA 1402 compliant and gain you ISO credit. The only thing that you cannot do on an Affordable Drill Tower is live fire training. Call Steve, 844-55-TOWER, or drop an email to info@affordabledrilltowers.com. And then last but not least, firefighter safety and accountability starts with being able to quickly find and identify individual firefighters operating on the fire ground. Identifier safety combines the best in photoluminescent materials for durable firefighter identification solutions that can glow for up to 20 hours. No switches, no batteries, which means being able to rapidly identify firefighters by name, unit, or assignment, even under hot fire conditions. All specifically designed for the rigors of the job. Be seen, on scene. Identifiersafety.com. And there we go. The sponsors are acknowledged, and now it is, well, we're already well underway. A couple things. You said that, yes. That's one of my favorite mottos. So, Chief, it is the back to school special. So let's kick it off. Back to school. You said earlier, I'm not teaching, but you're always teaching. So it's back to school time. Let's talk about it.
Okay. Number one thing, man, is companies have absolutely got to stop making excuses, and they got to start training. Everybody, you got to start drilling. The most important probie, that's what I called it when Trevor got in it. Now I got Lucas. He was with us, this week in Memphis, and he's already starting to train, and he's going back to the University of Florida next week. But when he comes home on Christmas break and in summertime, he's interning at Escambia. But like when my boys come home and they ride, I'm like, hey, what'd you drill on? And it's not when I ask them that, I'm not like investigating the company officer. Like it's not. I just like, what'd you drill on? And so what I'm trying to teach them is that even if the officer doesn't lead the drill, then maybe you lead your own drill. Yourself. Maybe it's you and a senior firefighter. Maybe it's just you, reading an article out of a magazine. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one of those deals. Like, and I just got 3 here. I think these are the 3 big plus Jim McCormick's newsletter. But Firehouse, puts out a magazine every month. Fire Engineering puts out a magazine every month, and then you get WNYF a couple times a year. Is read an article a day. It's not like complicated, but if you haven't read the book Outliers, 10,000 Hours, if you really want to be great, then you got to be doing it all the time. You got to be putting in a little bit every day. The top executives, CEOs, coaches, whatever, they're getting up at 0500. I mean, they're reading before they get on their phone. You got to be putting in the time. You got to, like last night when we're done eating dinner at the biggest Bass Pro Shop in the world, we're up on top over the beautiful view of the Mississippi River. A group of 6 of us take an hour to go track down 750 Adams Avenue. We park, get out, walk around the building. I was trying to get in a building. I was waiting for somebody to leave or whatever. I'm going to get in that building, right? And that's just, the things that we got to be doing. And I posted about a week ago, like, what was your drill today? And if you're a company officer and you're on duty for 24 hours or 48 hours, and you don't even do at least a 30-minute structured coffee table discussion about some type of strategy and tactics, then it's unacceptable. It's like I didn't say go do a 3-hour drill. At least a coffee table discussion. Print an article out. For years in my battalion, I had what's called the daily read, and each firefighter is supposed to like initial it when they read it, But we have to encourage support, and then also enforce, have an expectation that firefighters that are not readers, that we're at least ask them to read a 2 or 3 page article. My article that just got released today or yesterday on resource allocation in my command success column of Firehouse. On there, it says an 8-minute read. My article's an 8-minute. You don't have 8 minutes. It's not about my article. I'm just using that as an example. 8 minutes to invest in yourself, right? Just like you got to be working out. But we got to be training, and you got to be training yourself too. You got to be investing in reading your books. And, I got this book out. This is one of the first books I studied. This came out in 1986. And as a junior firefighter, and it's actually a pretty good manual, put out by NFPA. And this thing is like highlighted, underlined, front to back. And this was my foundation of engine company operations starting in 1988. Just like in 1988, I was going over like the fire attack stuff out of this book because my dad gave me this book and said, hey, son, this is the foundation of firefighting, putting water on a fire, riding on an engine, catching a hydrant, stretching a line, knowing when and how and where to put water on the fire. And, that still stands true 37 years later. And, when I was reading Firehouse magazine before 1988, in elementary and middle school, I was like looking at magazines. And we got, I want to say it was 7 magazines in the mail. Like it was a West Coast magazine, an FPA journal, Fire Chief magazine, or existed. Wilmoth, Janet Wilmoth. I got to meet her. She retired. She was an editor for a long time. But we got all those magazines, man. I don't even remember. I think it was 7 magazines came in a month every month. And I didn't read them all cover to cover. My dad was like, just try to find one article. So it's not like we're wasting money. This magazine's coming here. Back then, the VHS, Working Fire came out. You pop the VHS in.
Right.
You watch it. And now you don't have to do that. Like I Googled 750 Adams Avenue, and we pulled up last night when we left 750 Adams Avenue. There's 6 of us riding in my truck. I know there's only 5 seatbelts. We were breaking a law. Wear your seatbelts, though. we're in Memphis. They're more worried about people that are going to murder somebody than 6 firefighters riding in a truck with 5 seatbelts. But we pulled it up on the surround sound from the phone, and we're listening to the after action by the Memphis Fire Department, hearing it from them, an officer of the Memphis Fire Department, radio traffic, the battalion chief calling Engine 7, hey, what do you got? Then the drivers now calling, saying, hey, I got smoke showing from the end of the building, and that was right when they were getting off the elevator. That's training. Like, we're riding. Like, when we were sitting at dinner last night, we're talking about fire stuff. And, you know, if you want to be good, you want to be great, then that's what you got to do. And the better you are at this, the more you're going to enjoy it. It's just like sports. If you suck at it, you're not going to like it, you know? So I really think that I think there's a lot of training. I think there's, you know, more available conferences than we ever have. There's never going to be too many conferences. But I think that the critical game changer is going to be firefighters doing some drills on duty, just 30-minute, 1-hour drills, you know, reading an article here or there. Company officers challenging their firefighters to come back the next shift or next week and do a little program or something, teaching them how to put on little, you know, drills. When a firefighter asks a question, say, hey, pull it up, Google it, put it on the big TV while we're drinking coffee at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You know, for years, people ask me when I'm done teaching, like, hey, how'd you talk for 2 hours and you got to slide 2? Like, how do you remember all that stuff? I said, because I'm teaching it all the time and I'm reading it and I keep it on top of my head. And like, that's just what we have to do. Most decisions that I've made on a fire ground, a command in an incident that kept us safe was paid in blood. I mean, it was paid in line of duty deaths. You know, my opinions about, you know, carrying 2 portable radios and, you know, scan and no scan and things. It comes from Hackensack, New Jersey as a junior firefighter. And the scanner, you know, them hearing it on the scanner when they were disoriented in that office there in Hackensack. And then, you know, we go to June of 2007 and, you know, they're calling the dispatcher in Charleston saying, hey, I think some firefighters in trouble. And the dispatcher's like, nah, they're fine. They're fine. And I'm not knocking them, but it's history repeating itself. Right. And so what we do is we have to understand that. How do we keep history from repeating itself just when it comes to fireground radios and communications? I had a fire, May was a year ago, right after we got new portable radios, and I got complacent. And when I got the new radio, that, you know, first shift, I got a good fire. And I didn't understand, like, I'd never had that kind of radios, that, you know, the MPX 8000 or whatever. And the battery was in and out, so missing the transmission. And one of my senior company officers is on the 2nd floor, you know, heavy fire. And he's calling me to say back out. I missed the transmission just because my battery wasn't properly connected to my portable radio. And I got to add to that, man, at the battalion chief boot camp, I beat it in their heads during the 50 hours. Number 1 job of a chief officer is eliminate complacency. You can write that shit down. Number 1 job of a company officer or a chief officer is eliminate complacency. What does that mean? That means be the boss, be the chief, be like a mom and dad that says when their kids are saying, hey, I'm riding on my bike down to Billy's house or Susie's house. What do you tell your kid when they're 12, 13 years old, they're about to ride their bike a mile down the street? Right when they're walking out the door, what do you tell them to wear?
Yeah, put their helmet on.
Put their helmet on. Well, chiefs, like when you're at a fire and their waist strap's not, you get on the radio and just say, hey, put your waist strap on. Or you go to a car fire and the officer's not breathing air and he's taking a bunch of nasty smoke. You tell them to put their mask on. You're the boss. This isn't like about feelings. And then it's over with. After the fire, when they come up to you and they sour it, hey, it's done, man. Let's move on. I'm not going to ever think about it again. But I love it. All these Monday morning quarterbackers, they don't even let them bother me anymore. Like, you know, they say I micromanage. No, you know what I fucking do? I'm the chief. I'm the boss. I'm not here for a popularity contest. I'm here to create the most disciplined team that strategically and tactically can suppress fires to minimize property loss and save civilian lives without costing us injury or death. That's what it comes down to. It's that simple. And, you know, they say, well, I know what to do. Well, let's just talk about Memphis out of respect for those 2 brothers. They know what they're doing. But if I go to a high-rise fire and I got a company, you know, whatever, engine 19, on scene, 22-story condominium. And then I hear them saying they're getting on the elevator. If I get on the radio and say, Command Engine 19, hey, man, I just want to make sure you guys are using, like, phase 2 firefighter mode. You're going to get off 2 floors below. Yes, sir, Chief, we got it. Well, we know what some of the people are going to say in the elevator. What the fuck? You don't think I know what I'm doing? I mean, he micromanaging us? No. You ran 7 medical calls already in this shift. You're tired. You've ran 9 false alarms there. I know, I understand, I can appreciate that you're going to get complacent, and I'm here to eliminate that complacency based on accountability, holding you accountable. Everybody wants to talk about it. Everybody wants to teach all these leadership classes, talk about people's hygiene, and they'll talk about it on their back, but they never walk up to them one-on-one and say, Johnny, man, everybody just feels like you got, bad BO. I don't know what you need to do, man. If you need to take 3 showers a day, deodorant, do I need to get some extra shirts from the warehouse for you? Are you using OxyClean? And I'm not being funny. I'm being serious.
No,
it's
absolutely.
Like you don't want to have these hard conversations. They
it's a
want
tough
to go to
conversation.
Classes, and then they don't use the shit. Let me tell you something. I don't have a problem having a hard conversation with you. My kids have made some big mistakes, but Jess and I were there to do what? Be their parent. No, you're not going to do that. You're going to do this because we're there to give them guidance and hold them accountable. And it's just how it works as a whole. So we do need company officers and we need chiefs to just take leadership classes, but apply this shit. If you're going to have rules of engagements and expectations, then hold them accountable. When the third due engine heard him say booster backup, and the SOG says you stop at a hydrant unless directed by a chief officer or the incident commander to bypass and come in, then you stop at the closest hydrant. Don't give me an excuse, 5 times. Like you've been doing it 3 to 4 fires, and every time you got an excuse. You're not there for the team. All you give a fuck about is getting in there and getting in on what you want to do tactically. You're not a part of the strategic game plan of a 5-company operation.
Loving it. You talk
Here's
about
the deal.
that. Here's the deal. We had our first write this down at 26 minutes in. That was the first one, just so you know. Now go on. I don't want to.
So they can write this shit down. If I get on the fucking radio and I tell ladder 1 to vent the roof on the A side in the area of the Alpha Bravo corner, that's not micromanaging. Now, if I get up on the fucking roof and I tell them how to crank the saw, how to cut the curve, where to cut, how to cut, how to do I tell them I want them to push it, that's micromanagement. I'm the fucking ball coach. Billy Napier's going to call the plays, or the offensive coordinator's going to call the plays. Little secret. Guy that went to UNC, used to coach some football at a team that won a few Super Bowls. Him and a quarterback that won a few Super Bowls and went to Tampa Bay. There started being a conflict of who the fuck was in charge of calling the plays if you didn't know that, right? Because you can't ever get so good that you don't want to listen to the coach. Because, see, your plan might be better than the coach, but the coach is managing the 4 other companies. So if you just go do what you want to do, the other 4 companies aren't supporting it. The vent hole needs to be based on where the fire is, where the fire's going, the building construction, the wind direction. And am I sending 1 line in, 2 lines in, my flanking a fire? I got a line going through the front door. I got one that's going to put some water off the ceiling from the exterior. You got 2 guys coming through the back door to do a truck company search. So the battalion chief's commanding 5 companies. So you're fucking right. They can tell them where to park the damn truck. I mean, last time I checked, it'd be in a perfect world, the chief would be on scene before any companies at every incident. We know that's not possible. I don't think the offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator, and the coach show up in the second quarter. I think they're there at kickoff to determine what's going on. And so what it comes down to is ego at the company officer level. I know what the fuck I'm doing. They don't need to tell me where to park. And no, I'm telling you where to park because I'm thinking about the 5th rig that's going to get here and how I'm going to get 3 inches of squad in a truck on this little cul-de-sac or this dead-end street. Or, I'm thinking about the fact the wind's blowing 20 miles an hour out of the north and it's blowing the fire into the Delta exposure, which got T111 siding or vinyl siding, highly combustible. You're thinking about firefighting. I'm thinking about rescue, exposure, confinement, right? So at the end of the day, hopefully the chief is thinking about the strategy.
Right.
Individual companies are thinking about specific tactics. They need to be good at those tactics. But if the chief gets there first and they got a strategy, then they're formulating a plan with the entire box alarm of how they're all going to work together. It's a new thing. Day one at our ULFSRI panel for coordinated fire attack. I was fortunate enough to sit on it. It's how Chief Lieb and I got connected and became great friends. Everybody in the country's got to get on board with UL and FSRI, man. It's a game changer in firefighter safety, fire extinguishment, and saving civilian lives. And I'm going there September 14th through the 19th for the second ever summit. The last one was phenomenal. Nick did a whole program on firefighterrescuesurvey.com. And I want to tell you, when I travel around the country, less than 5%, there can be 200 people, and less than 5% even know about firefighterrescues.com. That means us that know about it, we got to be telling people. Now what I do, I did 2 days ago, over 100 people. I made them all during class pull out their phones and go to firefighterrescuesurvey.com. Gave them about 5 minutes to scroll around to see all the charts and first do thing. Because now they're like, not all of them, some of them now that night, tomorrow, I said, hey, man, you use those slides. I said, I'll let that help me kind of build my idea about 6 and 6 minutes and 8 and 8 minutes. But the battalion chief is, determining the overall where, not just the first line, the second line, the third line. And if the battalion chief, the fire ground commander gets there first and they coach the attack and there's an explosion, a collapse, a mayday is transmitted. Since their brain mentally made the strategic decision, gave the company commands verbally, ideally, we should always have an instant action plan, writing shit down. But regardless of all that stuff we should do, they're more likely to know where everybody is. And I'm just going to go be a spectator, man. I'm going to stand here in my polyester shirt and I'm just going to let engine 1, engine 2, engine 3 do what they want. Hell, the truck shit, man, they want to break windows. I don't give a shit. It's blowing 30 miles an hour. They know what to do. Shit, you know what, man? They ain't never cut a roof, so they want to cut a roof today. And the fire's on the first floor of a damn 3-story building. What the fuck they cutting a hole in the roof? The fire's on the first floor. It's like, you know what, man? We want rogue firefighters. We want firefighters who want to push the envelope. And the more that we get that, because that's what we need, that's what we want, then we need chiefs that are fucking in command. Like that chief in Lower Manhattan, man, that always looks crisp and charged. Dude, that dude's got command presence. His shit's in charge. And whether you like him or not, he takes his job serious. So I'd say there's a higher probability that when something bad happens, you're going to be glad that coach is there when there's no timeouts and you only got 14 seconds left and you're outside the damn field goal range. So we got to drive the fire service to understand and that's what this whole battalion chief boot camp thing is about like, let's get fire ground commanders that can maximize strong tactics. That you got great companies that can stretch, force, search, vent, RIT, fast, all that stuff. Now let's put them all together as one cohesion where they're working together as a team. And you can get on YouTube all day long. You can watch videos. Most people don't even want people to see videos of their fires. They're embarrassed, right? And the reality is, I put all of our fires on CFT Fire Ops on YouTube. People Monday morning quarterback them all day long. They don't even know shit about the fire. You know what I mean? That one big ass house fire that's burning, like the first due engine hooked into the hydrant. They just can't see it because it's in the damn front yard. They're hooked into the plug. The first due engine hooked into it. But the reality is, I see videos all the time, man, where they got 7 companies there and they're all doing what the fuck they want. And they're pissing it down their leg. The truck's parked down the block. It can't even reach the building because the chief let them park where they wanted.
No.
There's this thing called curb side for positioning. That way, when everybody's coming in the same fucking direction, a rig can get past the scene to do a reverse out for a damn second water supply, right? I mean, or an ambulance, worst case scenario, has to transport a civilian or worse yet, an injured firefighter. How about them fucking fire trucks are parked to where we can get in and get out for ALS transport care, or worse yet, we could park a damn, we can land a damn helo helicopter light flight within a decent distance.
Woo. Hey, real quick, I love it. I love
Hey,
when
I don't know if you know this.
Go ahead. I'm going to interrupt you at some point, but go ahead.
Nick Saban. Anytime Alabama's losing at halftime, he's not worried. He's not nervous. When they get to that fourth quarter, that's where coaches like Dabo Swinney, Nick Saban, these great coaches, Steve Spurrier, that's where them coaches come in, man. Crunch time. But if you got a team that's allowed to just do what they want in the first three quarters, they can't do what they're great at because there's no discipline. There's no accountability of, what's going on and what's happening. So go ahead.
All right. No, a couple things. A, to everybody's commenting in YouTube. Yes, Chief Ike's audio is great. His internet or his video is at points getting choppy. So yeah, absolutely. It's not you. It's happening. It wouldn't be a scrap with Ike without some sort of internet issues. That's just a tradition. The second thing is I screwed up on the sponsors and I left out Dave Prescott and the Fast Wrench. I don't know how I did that because he loves Florida firefighters. He loves anytime there's someone on the scrap. But so I'm gonna do it right now because I owe it to him. My bad, Dave. Fast Wrench is the one and only standpipe operations multi-tool in the fire service. It combines 10 different tools into one lightweight, easy-to-use hand tool. The Fast Wrench is quickly becoming the best practice tool for adjusting any make or model field-adjustable PRV, and it is an absolute must-have in your standpipe kit. Designed by a firefighter for doing the tough business of standpipe firefighting. Lighten your kit, streamline your operations with the Fast Wrench. Check them out at fastwrench.net. 1,000%. My bad.
Hey, real quick, the first giveaway. Hey, did you see the Fast Wrench?
Oh yeah, dude. I was counting on you. I knew you were not going to let me down.
Hey, I got hoarding conditions in this room. Trevor lives here, and every time he comes home, he's at a VMR class at a Florida State Fire College this week. When he comes home tomorrow night, he's always like, I don't know if I live here or my dad lives here. Did you give my number, the CFT number, to all the people that are watching?
Not yet, but we absolutely can. You ready to do it?
Can you give it to him right now? I'm going to give away the first pass.
All right.
To Water on the Fire.
Go ahead,
Corley.
You go. I'll have Sam post it. Sam will
you give the number. I want you to give him the number. I want to have the number first.
Okay. 850-982-5364. That is the CFT phone. Sam is posting it. Sam is posting it in the chat. There you go.
Okay. So that's the CFT conference phone. It's not my personal phone. So the first person to text the answer to a question I'm going to ask you is going to win a free conference admission to the first ever 5-day Water on the Fire, November 10th through the 14th, Monday through Friday. Monday and Friday is in the big room. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, hands-on. Dan Magikowski, every big engine guy's the first time ever. We're going to have 3 days of hands-on. Brooksy. So the first person to text my phone of what this date means. February 23rd, 1991. I had Prescott custom make this for me and send it to me. I'm not going to throw him under the bus. February 23rd, 1991. February 23rd, 1991. And thanks to Prescott, man, and he texts me every once in a while to check on me. What a great brother. But this wrench means a lot to me. And I got another wrench that says CFT 201 for Maurice. So I'm not going to say what it is. We'll give you a chance. But February 23rd, 1991 was so significant about that day. So go ahead, Corley.
No, I love it. That's all I had was I messed up because I left Dave off. Whenever we made this back to school special plan, I called him and said, "Hey, we got another Florida firefighter coming on. Do you want it?" And I always give him first shot at the slot. And he said, "Absolutely."
Kyle Romagus is texting me. He's fucking banned. He's already tell him to don't be jamming my phone up. I just looked at the 4 and his shit's lining up. Scrap 75 sucks. He just ruined that for himself.
There you go. I'm looking to see if he says anything. He is pulling questions. Are you ready for your first question from the audience, Chief?
Sure, let's go.
Here we go. This one's coming at you from Jeffrey Diaz. He wants to know, his first question is, what is the top nugget you want to drop now that you don't have to look over your shoulder as an employee of an organization?
Don't let somebody live rent free in your head for 16 years. Don't let anybody live rent free in your head for 1 year. Don't let somebody make you not want to go to work. Don't let somebody steal your passion, your purpose. You know, that whole, I can't remember the doctor's name that wrote it. Brad Bennett just posted again the other day. I used it on my program a year ago at Firemanship up in Aurora about, you know, I'm not intimidating, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. You're intimidated, all that kind of stuff. For too many years, I got, you know, my feelings hurt. I got upset and I was disappointed. I love Escambia County Fire Rescue more than life itself. It's the closest thing for me as a male to carry a baby for 9 months and then have birth and it be my baby. I mean, for the younger folks at Escambia that are listening that don't know, I was highly recruited in 1999 before they even had the first paid firefighters. Chief Mike Slover, I owe him everything for the rest of my life. Absolutely. Chief Kenny Perkins, you know, and I was offered one of the first company officer jobs and I turned it down because Pensacola is all I ever wanted to do. And I love my 9 years of Pensacola, man. I got to just do some cool shit. I was telling stories in the parking lot 2 nights ago about some phenomenal fires I went to, Queen Anne Victorians and just old school buildings because it's an old city. But, you know, like, at the end of the day, sometimes when you're real passionate and your purpose is like a fucking freight train, you know, it's like that parent out of control at a ball field. You know what I'm saying? Where like they're living vicariously through their kid and they're acting like an idiot or a nut. You know, that's been me sometimes. And I've let people live rent free in my head when I know that I can sleep at night and feel comfortable what I do. I know what I do to support other people and what I give away. CFT's never said no once to any donation, to any benevolent, line of duty death, you know, whatever. And that credit goes to everybody, my family first and foremost, but the entire CFT team makes that happen, that we can give away those passes. But man, like, nobody did it. I did it to myself. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even tell you how much anxiety and stress has been lifted off my shoulders. It's like, you know, this is what I need. I need a year of focused on CFT. You know, historically, if I came back from a trip like I did this afternoon, like teaching in West Memphis, I'd be going back to work tonight or tomorrow, and I wouldn't just be doing a 48. I'd be doing a 72 or 96 to pay back the swaps for having to be off this last Sunday and Monday, which would have been my shift. So, like, if I still worked at Escambia, I would have had to been off Sunday, Monday. So that 48 would have been a swap. And the only reason I could do that is because my comrades, you know, my fellow chiefs, God bless them, man. Like, they took very, very, very good care of me because they didn't need swaps, man. Them dudes got maxed out leave and everything. You know, I was always waiting to get my next accumulation of leave. And I don't regret that. I absolutely, you know, and I know that, you know, some people at Escambia is like, oh, he's around teaching everybody else in the country, but here or whatever. But, you know, what they don't know is, you know, I was there 24/7 from 2000 to 2009, pretty much. And I was actually told in 2009 by the current county administrator, Bob McLaughlin, retired colonel from the Marine Corps. He called me in his office and he said, one of the commissioners, said you were fired, ones you fired, and, some other people got fired. And he said, I had to inform we can't fire you because you never signed the paperwork. You're protected. You're still a battalion chief, even though I was acting deputy chief. And he said, what I need you to do is just come here and do your job. Don't be trying to be a mover and shaker. Don't be trying to change things. He said, we appreciate everything you've done. Just come here, clock in, do your job when you're on duty, and do something else. Well, that 2009, when that happened, that's when I came up, my brain went, holy shit. And I was sitting on a porch, and I ran in the house. It's like 10:30 at night. I mean, Trevor was, 7 years old. Catherine's 5 years old. Lucas is 3 years old. And I'm screaming, Jessica, we gotta get countyfiretactics.com. We gotta get on that, whatever's that GoDaddy shit. And I said, we gotta buy it now. She's like, calm down. She said, most importantly, we gotta do is don't tell the whole world, because that's what you do. You tell the whole world. They'll buy it before us. And I bought countyfiretactics.com. It got out, and then somebody went and bought cityfiretactics.com within a week of that. But that came about because I was basically told, because up till 2009, I was doing everything in Escambia. I was putting on conferences through Escambia County Fire Rescue. I had Tim Klett and Mike Hayes and Mike Lombardo come in. We were doing live burns. They were operating under Escambia County Fire Rescue. It's so funny. I got suspended for 48 hours for Mike Lombardo riding. But he rode with me like, fucking who knows, 50 times. I don't know. He was going to fires all the time. He was in charge of our live burn training, our rookies and recruits and all that stuff. So that was so comical. I just laugh about that now. But and we got a room called the Lombardo Suite. Well, it's probably gone now. They probably scraped it off. But long story short is I did what the county administrator told me to do. Instead of being like running the Beyond Minimum Standards program, getting the best Western on, Perdido Key and acquired structures, and managing this stuff on my days off, for overtime. It was straight time. It was all right. I didn't care. I was just working. I want to go. And, man, boom, that happened in 2009. And I was already doing contract training. I was the contract training officer for Ocean City, Wright, Fort Walton Beach, Okaloosa Island, South Walton, Destin, and Mary Esther. I was going down there 6 days a month. But the reality is that's where things took a turn, man. And next thing you know, I'm doing an 8-hour water on the fire seminar. And for those who don't know it, I own wateronthefire.com. We just don't use that thing. I bought it like in 2009, whatever it was, 16 years ago. And then Ray and I did urban to suburban, I think 2011, 14 years ago. And we did one-day seminars. And when we did those one-day seminars, we were spending more to rent the projector and screen than it costs to buy them. And a lot of people probably heard this. We were negative, man. Like, we were opening the next conference to try to pay the bills for the last conference. We were bankrolling. But we did it with one days, and we did a 2-day. And then, you know what I mean? We did COBC, which was the first 3-day next door at the Hampton Inn in the DeLuna room. We had Chief Jonathan Kanzig, Chief Shannon Stone, Chief Todd Edwards, Chief Eddie Robinson, and Chief Mike Lombardo. Those were the original COB instructors from like 14 years ago. And then so we started practicing that. And then, most everybody knows the history. Ray and I are flying to San Diego together at 30,000 feet in H-Rock. We hit the ground in 2013, doing hands-on training. And now we got, 4 trailers, 5 door props. We got all kinds of, equipment, but none of it happened overnight, man. It's been a 16-year process of building the CFT team. A shout out to John, our logistics guy. It's worth the risk. Our CFT green team that manages our logistics, planning, props, ops. He does a hell of a damn spreadsheet. Won't put out a fire, but it keeps up with our equipment so it doesn't get lost. So that was a pretty long answer for that other question, but I'm going to try to be respectful, politically correct, but still give some people some nuggets. But and I'm going to probably say it 20 times tonight. I love Escambia County Fire Rescue. I have zero anger, discontent. I love the brothers there, the sisters there. I want that fire department to be the best it can be. They just got the largest tax budget increase they've ever had. They got $35 million for new stations, doing dual company houses. Hell, my oldest son works there full time. My youngest is a volunteer. He wants to get hired there full time when he graduates from the University of Florida. So I have nothing but wanting them to be the best. But I made a lot of mistakes while I was there, and the positive thing is I learned from them. And I feel like I'm getting a fresh start with focusing on one thing, not trying to focus on multiple things. And it also helps that the kids are all when they're in college, type of deal. Jessica can, travel with me, but don't let people live in your head rent free. It sometimes it's hard to comprehend, especially if you're not a person that compares. Comparison's the thief of joy, Eleanor Roosevelt. But jealousy, man, it is amazing. And I think sometimes people are jealous and they don't even know they're jealous. I mean,
oh yeah,
it can be something stupid as like what you drive or where you live. And I just know from sports, people are jealous of your kids. If your kid's a better soccer player than theirs, fuck, they don't like your kid. I mean, it's not your fault. You know what I'm saying? It's stupid, man. You got to spend so much energy on how you talk because you might say something that offends somebody and you didn't even mean it. And hey, you talk as fast and as loud as I do. Well, shit, man, I'm yelling at you and I'm intimidating.
Chief, awesome job on the first question. I like that. I love this next one. It's come from Chief Candace Ashby, so you know it's a good question. And she says, what advice do you have for those with a huge target on their back?
My first simple answer in 5 seconds.
Embrace the target, baby.
And for those who don't know it, years ago, we had shirts made. We sold them at conferences. Had a bunker coat on the back of a t-shirt, said County Fire Tactics Isacson, like at the tail flap. And it had a big, arrow target just like this. And it said, embrace the target. And I was saying embrace the target, but it was still hurting my feelings. Here's the deal, man. Like, growing up in the fire service, more frequently than not everybody, man. Bill Guston, he was just a unique person. That's back there. Got my memorial back there for Guston. It's more common if people realize that Brett Ashworth and I had this conversation 2 nights ago, man, just sitting at the parking garage while we were logistically setting up. If you're into the job, you're a go-getter, and people are like laying in a lazy boy and you're wanting out there to like clean something on a rig outside the normal morning check. You're going to these seminars on your own. You're a part of, Brothers in Battle or, some type of speaking cadre, or you teach at FDIC. God forbid you write a book or go on the national circuit. I mean, you're just screwed. And sure as hell don't like have some podcast or something like, who the hell does Corley think he is?
Shit.
That he's going to give his life up for 313 weeks. He's going to get on the scrap and interview people and let everybody in the country watch it for free. My God, I mean, he must be Jim and Kool-Aid. If you don't know it, guys, drinking the Kool-Aid comes from a guy named Jim. Go look the shit up. Chief Ike didn't invent fucking drinking the Kool-Aid. Because guys in Escambia made up stickers and shit and say, you're drinking Chief Ike's Kool-Aid. Well, fuck, I'm not Jim and a Kool-Aid back in the day. That's like a cult operation. If you drink my Kool-Aid, you know what my Kool-Aid is? I'll do everything in my power to help you make you the best firefighter you can, help you get promoted, be competent when you get promoted, and you get the most fulfillment beyond your paycheck working for the fire department. And actually be able to save lives, save property while still keeping yourself safe. Because at the end of the day, next question, this is another pass. First person to type the man's name of the book I'm about to show gets a pass to Water on the Fire. My war years. First man to type it. At the end of the day, if you're into the job and you don't have a side job that's outside of firefighting, your side job's firefighting, running the scrap, running a training business, you're going to have a target on your back. You're making people feel inferior. They're going to say stuff. And, man, you're not going to be a, whatever they say, a disciple in your own land, your own backyard. I mean, here's the deal, man. The guy that teaches at FDIC and it's his first time, nobody's ever heard of him. if people from my fire department heard him speak, they'd want to pay him money and come in and he'd be God, but they wouldn't want to listen to me. Shit, people would want, Cordy, they'd want you to come to Escambia and they'd love to listen to you. And you know, I was about to say Midwest City, Moore Fire Department, shit, they're like, fuck Corley Moore, but hell shit, they'd want me to come into. That's just how it is. You know what I mean? And you know, it is what it is. Nobody wants to think somebody that works in their same organization, rides on the same fire truck, may have an experience, skills, knowledge, and ability above them. They're on the same ball team. There's no way they can be better than them, right? Like, you know, everybody on the Chicago Bulls basketball team in the 90s, like, they were all just as good as Michael Jordan, right? I mean, all of them. They're all equally the same because they play on the same basketball team. And it doesn't mean that another person's better than them or better than you. It just happens to be that that's what they take their time to study. It looks like hoarding conditions in here, but you got another question
coming at you, or you got one? Are you doing another question?
No, I'm about to show you something.
Okay.
See, if you're into the job, you don't just have the book of Andy. You got to have this book version of the book of Andy. You got to have this version of the book of Andy. Then you got to have this version, which I got about 100 of them in cases in the other room in the kitchen. Any 850 firefighter, I'll sell it to you for $20. And I don't even know what I pay for them, but that's below what I pay for them. So I'll be contributing to the financial cost of a book for you. But this is the book of Andy published. And I know it's probably a surprise. I have every single article he ever wrote in Fire Engineer Magazine and the actual original printed Fire Engineering Magazine. Nice. Because that's what we do if we're into the job. And I didn't just start being into the job like last week. You know what I mean? Like, it's been my whole life. So that's a picture. And this is a shout out to Identifier. So that's my dad as a fire chief. And this is 1992. And you can see my dad's lapel mic up on his shirt. He's got another portable on his other side. That's the ops chief standing next to him. It was a pretty good job. But that's me right there. And I actually ordered through Goals my name. And at the time, I didn't know of another firefighter in all of Northwest Florida. I mean, Pensacola, Fort Walton, none of the paid departments. Nobody was putting the name on the back of the coat. So in 1992, when I got my dad, because he bought it for me, and that's actually me, and I ordered that flat from the old Gauls catalog with W. Isacson on it. Put it on the back of my coat. What do you think people said about me or to me in 1992 about my name on the back of my coat?
Oh yeah, they were ripping.
Who does he think he is? Is he like, is he God's gift to the fire service? Everybody got to know who he is. Guess what? 750 Adams Avenue, April 11, 1994. When he got off that elevator on that fire floor, lights out visibility, and the chief was calling him, they couldn't even know who each other was. It was hard to identify. It wasn't their fault. Like they can't see each other. Contra Costa, California, one-story ranch. Guys are coming or going. Two guys are burning to death. And they don't know because there's nothing on their mask. There's no identifier of Ike or name. The front piece is fucking the front piece for the fire company they worked on 5 years ago. Says engine 5, and the day they're on ladder 7, their name's not on the back of their coat. There's nothing identifying their air pack. So it's a safety factor. Dude, if that's on the back of my coat and I'm wearing an air pack and I'm on the roof and I fall through and somebody sees it like, hell shit, Isacson just fell through the roof. Guess what? It ought to be NFPA standard, just like the damn DRD drag strap is. It ought to be an NFPA standard. No bunker coat can be produced or can be worn by a firefighter without their name on the back of the coat legible while wearing a self-contained breathing apparatus. Nobody should be able to wear an SCBA mask without something identifying who's wearing that mask. Who gives a fuck about the name of your fire department? It ought to be your last name with no rubber band over it, and the company you're working on that day. Let's go to Valentine's Day fire, February 14th, 1995, Pittsburgh. That's why Jim Crawford consumed his life in building that team on RIT operations in the Pittsburgh drill. And thank God I'm so excited, man, because I'm retired. Escambia guys, yes, I'm retired. I did 25 years there. And if I wanted to collect my pension, I looked at it at 67%. So I just froze it. And I'm going to wait and see after a year if I'm going to go work for another FRS fire department, because there's a lot of options out there, because there's so many, I don't know, there's probably over 100 FRS fire departments in the state of Florida. But I'm currently retired active duty firefighting. But next week I'm going to the Jimmy Ellis training thing, man. And if you don't know, we are the lucky ones. The lucky ones, that comes from when Jimmy Ellis died and JJ was at my house and we're emotional. And I said, man, we're lucky to have known Jimmy. We're lucky that we had the time that we had with Jimmy. I got a bunch of pictures I've taken of Jimmy over the years that, he helped us the first 9 years at H-Rock. He went to the 10th because, he had died from that injury that happened while he was on duty. I don't know how I was going with that. But anyways, identification on a fire ground is, it's critical. And on the front piece, it needs to be, so the Bryceland Street Fire in Pittsburgh, they're wearing the different things. And like, it needs to be the company you're working on that day, overtime, shift swap, whatever. And so we want your name here. We want your name here. We want your company here. We want your company on the chest. And most fire departments are just doing one side. I think it needs to be both sides in case you're laid down. I mean, what's the cost of these things? This ought to be mandatory. I've always thought it should be mandatory. When I'm a chief on a fire ground, that name on the back of the coat and that identifier on the back of that bottle is a game changer for me when they're going through the front door. I can see them. I gave them the command. They told me they're going, and I visually see it. It's easier for me, to remember it, because, you want to live to be able to be like my dad the day I took him to go pick all his stuff up. He's not real happy, but that's him cleaning out his office. And we all want to make it to that day where we can go hang our helmet up on the wall at our house and tell stories about the good jobs and, the great times.
Heck yes, man. We are the lucky ones. Beautiful. All right. You ready for more questions, Chief? Hey, I'm telling you right now, I've got, looks like 5 pages of questions that Kyle Ramacus has been pulling out of the YouTube chat. And a whole lot of people.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
Are you going or? Yeah, it's a great book. A phenomenal book.
No, while you're talking, I was just showing that out. I wouldn't
fair.
Just showing. You always have the thing about books.
Yeah,
so I love the end going long. I'm trying to maximize, man. And I'm kissing David Rhodes' ass and Chief Goldfeder and Chief Lee. I'm just pushing books. But I mean, I'm a huge line of duty death guy, man. I have, I live in my parents' house. It's my house now, but I had to respect it. They left me a beautiful house on the water. I'll always say it's theirs. But my mom, when they built their house, my mom has a prayer closet. Like you walk in, it's got a damn chandelier. Well, I took my dad's custom bookshelves that were in the living room, took them apart, and I put them in the prayer closet. So I have a closet on the first floor of my house. You walk in, and it's like a room where you would pray, and it's floor to ceiling, and it's at least 10 foot ceiling, maybe 12 foot ceiling. I don't know. Like, I can't even reach it up there. I mean, it's definitely 10 feet, and it's like every book that Pinwell's ever made. Obviously I got a pretty good collection of Lloyd Lehman books and shit like that, because people like Kyle Ramacus and Jason Hubbleman and people like that have been very friendly to gift me books I couldn't find. My wife bought me 3,000 alarms, but I have, I think, every one of these fires that I printed them off, put them in sleeve protectors and old school binders, and they're labeled on the spine on the bookshelves. And people used to ask, like, what are you going to do with that? Well, I don't know. My dad just told me to save it. You know what I mean? I got filing cabinets full of stuff. Like, I've got over a decade of Jim McCormick's monthly training topics. I mean, I got them myself personally for me because I was using them for 6 years, down in South Okaloosa. Well, now I got 2 boys on the job. Man, I got my own damn library for them. You know what I mean? So there's no excuse. They can just go in there in the library and just get the damn thing. All right, so go ahead.
No, I love it. Jeffrey Evans, which you've already touched on this a little bit, but you can go with it. What's the plan moving forward, Chief? All in with CFT, more family time. Awesome to see you doing so well, and congratulations on an amazing career.
CFT's all the way wide open, man. Like, in the last month, I probably put more enjoyable, conscious effort time in CFD than I did in the last year. From just posting on social media to writing down my ideas. Man, Jessica's so awesome. She went to Wine World the other day and got me like $500 in cigars. So I can't smoke more than 3 in a day though, and it's expensive. Plus, I don't want to die next week. But when I smoke a cigar, I come up with these crazy ideas, man. Like, because my brain's free. Like, I used to have phenomenal ideas years ago. When my brain shut down, this Thanksgiving will be 3 years ago, and I smashed my phone and I changed my number and got a new private number, and I got rid of my 3930581. I'm thinking now like I haven't since before then. So that's a big deal. So if you're out there, man, I'll come do a 1 day, 2 day, 3 day seminar. We'll bring our trailers, whatever. My calendar is, I'm obviously booking stuff up already. I mean, West Memphis is already booking us for the second week of April next year to go back there. But what it's going to allow me to do is do CFT more than I ever have. But I'm going to be able to do the family stuff. I'm hoping Jessica and I are going to go. There's 6 home games at the Swamp. We'll at least go to 4 of them. But like I said before, man, when I got home now, I don't have to go to work today, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, I'm going to fly to Pittsburgh for 2 days for the opening of the Jimmy Ellis training thing. From there, I'm going to fly straight to Gainesville, meet Jessica, Catherine, and Lucas there to move Lucas into Sigma Chi fraternity, get Catherine situated. We're going to stay there for 4 days because their birthdays are on Monday, August 18th, August 19th. I couldn't do that if I was having to report to a fire department. Right. So now I can go to Gainesville and stay longer. I went to the fewest games last year than I have in 5 years because I didn't have any leave. Now I can freely book and travel to places, man. In October, I'm flying to Cincinnati to teach. From there, I'm flying to damn Sam down in Hammond, Louisiana, to teach for him. And then we'll fly from there to Gainesville to go to a damn football game.
It's going to be,
I'm telling you, 48.96, I can't do that.
No, and Frank Lieb said it best when I was talking to him about retirement, because I was staring at it when I was at FDIC, and he said, man, it's great because when you're doing what you're doing and you're on duty, it's like you're a homing pigeon. You're always getting back to get back on duty. You're always getting back, and it's cutting you off. Yep. He goes, and now he goes, so much freedom, and it really does open up so much.
And Corley, you and I had this conversation. I don't even remember where we were, man. I just remember that we got in the car. I think Amanda was driving. We were sitting in the back seat about a year ago, and we were just talking about when you're thinking about retiring. We were talking about shift trades and swaps and, admin, being honest about being gone and, all that stuff. And, I really didn't think about it a lot. But now that I don't have to do it, it's like, holy shit. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to miss commanding fires. But, like, when I was in Memphis this last few days, if I still worked at Escambia, my brain's still thinking about stuff that's going on. Like, if it's my shift and I'm off and they're mandatory and overtime, I still feel responsible no matter what anybody thinks. I care, and I got to communicate, and I got to text and call. And I tell you, the big thing is now, man, is like when somebody texts me now, you're liable to get a reply. I'm liable to engage with you for 5 minutes texting if I can. I'm liable to actually maybe call you back because now I have time. I can talk to people. I can, set up times. I got to where, man, I just couldn't talk to anybody. I just was self-isolated. I didn't want to see or talk to anybody. I was completely shut down. Hell, I was self-isolating at Station 12 in the Battalion 2 office because I was just more depressed than I, realized I was. And it was like my brain was like that computer's worn out, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. Control Alt Delete ain't working. You can't even shut it off. That little thing's spinning. You're about to throw your computer, and you're just like, how do I make the battery go dead to turn the damn thing off? And so now that I've rebooked, I'm not going to burn a candle at both ends. And I have been doing that for over 25 years. I did 9 years at, Pensacola. When I was at Pensacola, I was teaching the fire academy. I started teaching there like 96 or 97 at Pensacola State College. So I was teaching the fire academy. I was going to some volunteer firehouses, doing some, training. And then when I got hired at Escambia, I was doing both jobs full time for a while, 56 at one, 45 at the other. So I was doing 101 hours a week. The only way I could be off was to use leave at one place or the other. If not, I was 101 hours. I was driving my Crown Vic or my Explorer from Escambia at 6 o'clock at night to Pensacola, taking off my captain's shirt and putting on my lieutenant's shirt to get on the rescue at Pensacola to work that night, and then get up and go put on my shirt in the locker room at Station 1 in Pensacola, go back out to Escambia. Good night, Trevor. My oldest son was watching, but he's down in Ocala, so he's got school his last day of VMR, so it's 10:15 there, so he's going to bed.
Right on. All right, more coming. Do you want an easy question, or let's hit some here? I'll throw tactics at you. I know tactics are tough sometimes, especially when it's a 3-sentence question. But Jake J wants to know, Chief, my department has the possibility of running a fire in a 7-story apartment building. Our first alarm will have at most 10 firefighters. How do you prioritize all the tasks? Now, I know you teach entire week-long classes on just this type of subject, but there's the question.
First and foremost, focus on using all 10 of them. Water on the fire. Don't check the boxes. Don't check the boxes where you're trying to do this, that, and the other. Absolutely, we know more than ever we got to initiate a simultaneous search. Well, with 10 people, we're talking about if it's a 7-story occupied building, I mean, what's 2 people going to search outside of a known thing? You need to put all 10 of them people into minimizing your reflex time, whether it's doing a well hole stretch, rope drop, vertical stretch, interior, exterior, using your standpipe, whatever it is. We got to buy back 26 minutes and 20 seconds. Fires don't flash over in 30 minutes. They flash over in 340. Time is not on our side anymore. Used to, I'm going to tell you, you can write this shit down. And I agreed with Brannigan and Chief Dunn and all them. They're absolutely right in their times, but some things have changed on what's going on. We didn't have Google. We didn't have MDTs. We didn't have the pre-plans, the accessibility to know the buildings like we used to. And then now our buildings have existed longer, so we've had more generations of firefighters to be able to pass on the intricacies of those buildings. Kind of like when the 16th Battalion, 28 Truck 69 engine had that fire a year and a half ago, and at Proby did that roof rope rescue. Well, their BIs, their building inspections, they've been getting information from that building for decade after decade after decade. So they know that building. It's not a surprise. They know if it's got a well, doesn't have a well, it's got a blind shaft, right? So that building's not as much of an enemy as it is when it's a brand new building that the fire department hasn't seen. They don't have a pre-fire plan. They don't have it in their MDT. I'm going to tell you what the enemy is now. It's time. Enemy on the fire ground is time backed up by fire behavior, explosive fire behavior. The enemy is explosive fire behavior based on we have minimal time. What a fire officer is sizing up on arrival as you're pulling the parking brake is not what you're going to fight. The fire you see on arrival is not the fire you're going to fight, because by the time you get off the rig, you stretch a line, you say start water, minimum 30 seconds, probably 60 seconds. Now go watch that flashover video from 0 to 340. Not shit happens in the first 2 minutes or 2 minutes and 38. It happens in the last 60 seconds. So you pulled on me like, I got a fucking can job. And then by the time you get up there, it ain't a can job. It's flashed over. I had a fire in 2004 as a newly promoted battalion chief, and I had mutual aid companies, Ocean City, Wright, Fort Walton Beach, Escambia. And I pull up, and a couch is literally burning. It was over off of Lillian Highway. And it's this big fixed glass window. And if Chief Danny Fury from Navarre Beach is watching, he knows about it because his company's the one that put the damn fire out. And it was after Hurricane Ivan, and it's just a couch burning. It looks like Hollywood. It's cool as shit. I can see it. I think it was like off of Martha Street or something. But anyways, I'm looking through the freaking window, and it's just a couch. It's like, we can hit it with a can. By the time, I think it was engine 7, Danny Fury was the captain, they pushed in. It was a fucking engine 3/4, like flowing the shit out of it because the place flashed. And it's nobody's fault or anything like that. It's just like shit can happen in 30 seconds or 60 seconds, and we got to get people to realize that. And Chiefs got to start being accountable, and it's their job to continuously resize up and call that audible and say, no, that's not going to work. You know what I mean? It's great to have trust amongst your people, but when you're supposed to be hopefully the most educated, experienced with the skills, knowledge, and ability to understand strategic fire attack, maximizing your staffing. The question was based on 10 people. Then you call the plays and let's make it happen. But if you got 10 people in an occupied 7-story building, you need to get water on that fire. You get water on that fire and get that shit knocked down. Use the most, intelligent way of ventilation. Whether it's a bulkhead door, whether it's open a slider, whether it's a hopefully electric powered, positive pressure fan, not positive pressure attack, ventilation, maybe it's hydraulic. It's another thing I mentioned to you on my text today, Corley. We got to be, yesterday's tactics got to come back for tomorrow's fires. We got to be hitting these fires. And, if there's a window, especially these residentials, quick hydraulic ventilation. If it's a smooth bore, just half crack it. Take the tip off, whatever you got to do. We got to get water on the fire. Now, I call that time delay tactics. And what that means is time is going to delay some of the other tactics. I only got 10 people. And I'm keeping it simple. It's more complex. I'm going to put all 10 on that fire attack. Then I'll put all 10 on ventilation. Now the smoke's lifted, and now all 10 can search fire floor, floor above, top floor, whatever one's, got the most dangerous, type smoke. So the fire service has got to stop using promotional tactics with rural suburban staffing, because most every tactics manual, strategic manual, is written by an urban fire officer chief that had urban staffing. And it is our foundation. And we got to study them, we got to know them. But we need county suburban officers and chiefs to know when to adjust. Resource allocation. This article just came out today. You got 5 companies on the box, 3 engines of squad and a truck. You're down to minimum staffing, 3's on all of them. That's 15. Tomorrow, we're staffed normal, 4-hour rig, you get 20. That's 5 more people on the same box alarm for the same building fire, 2 different days, same street. And in my article, I got a picture of the brothers, Bill Halfacre, retired, Kenny Fell, and them. And it was just to show what 5 people that we got today that we didn't have yesterday. Same fire department, same fire, same street, just 2 different staffing days. That answer the question?
Oh, dude, you absolutely. Oh, brother. I love it when you're fired up. I love it when you're fired up. Jay Hendricks wants to know, Chief, what is it about your leadership style that draws people in? I don't know if he means firehouse or if he means the county fire tactics. But take it whichever direction.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It doesn't draw everybody in. Because there's a lot of people. Well, I will say this. Hey, for my haters that are watching it right now, you're not living rent free in my head. I just think it's fucking crazy that you don't like me and you're going to stay here and listen to me till midnight. So, because I'm going to wait till 11:32 to say this shit you're on here to wait to try to catch me saying. But anyways, and I'm in the private sector now too. So the accountability is at a whole fucking different level now, my friend. What was the question?
Your leadership style. What draws people in?
For the ones that it draws in, it is that they unequivocally, undoubtedly know what Lou Holtz says. They don't care what you know until they know how much you care. Because people that really know me know I give a shit. I care. I love the fire department too much. It's not a joke. I almost love it more than life itself. And I had some significant conversations with Captain Bill Guston over, over a decade about how much we love it and how do we do life without it. And, a lot of reason why I'm excited and sitting here is because I'm going to honor Captain Guston by doing what I know he'd want me to do. And that's be happy, not actively on the job, but still doing, because I'll never fill his shoes. But I'm absolutely tell you, I feel a serious obligation to fill as much of that gap that I can about Captain Bill Guston around the country. So doing that is what attracts people, because I love the job. I'm passionate about it. I'm excited about it. I mean, everybody wants to be excited about something. I mean, they do. Everybody wants to be. I mean, Corley, I don't even have to ask you or talk to you about it. Like, when you're motivated and you're passionate, you just naturally get up out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning. You're excited, you do shit. And then the next day, nobody knows. We don't tell anybody in the country. And you're just like, fuck it, man. Fuck the scrap. I got all these guys who are fucking shooting darts at me. They're talking about my back at a firehouse. You know, they're trying to hang me out to dry to get me fired. You know, they're watching the scrap, not because they want to watch it. They're hoping I'm going to say something I can tell the fire chief at the Moore Fire Department to screw him up. You're laughing because it's the fucking truth. And it's like, you have a bad day, you don't get shit done. Corley, have you not had a day where you couldn't do shit because you were so mentally jacked up because they were rent-free in your head and you wasted a whole day because you weren't motivated?
Oh, brother. Oh, yes.
What's awesome is when you're motivated, dude. I'm telling you, man, it's like Goggins power. I mean, really, like when you're passionate, driven, excited, you feel supported, you feel loved, your inner circle's with you, your outer circle's with you. Dude, it is like being on fucking David Goggins, you know, power. That's what it is. It's David Goggins power.
I love it, man. Great question. Great answer. Yes, I think. All right. Next question coming at you. There's so many things I want to ask, but there are so many questions coming from the audience. I'm going to keep it focused on the audience, Chief. Here we go. What are the first drill? Rob Herrig wants to know, what are the first drills you would do for new hires?
Bill Guston's drill. Bill Guston became a captain of Aerial 2 in Liberty City in 1988. And even at the old firehouse, Aerial 2, or the new firehouse, Captain Bill Guston, new firefighter, inch 3/4 tack line for a private dwelling, advancing in the firehouse, into the bathroom, into the shower to flow water.
Boom.
And I got to add to that story.
Go.
So February 2014, we get a fire. We lost 4 kids. You know, I've taught it, you know, some of my seminars. I teach it. Travis Stevens, who now works for Indian River County, great brother firefighter, son's on our job. He was a light duty, so he was driving us. He was driving for me. One of the only times I ever told somebody to drive faster. But what's powerful to the story is, you know, this is like 4 a.m. in the morning. But, you know, back up less than 12 hours earlier. No, more than 12 hours. The morning before 0900, but that same shift. Engine 17, who was first due to North Bayland Street under the command of Lieutenant Brian Rickles. He has a choice. He has a brand new firefighter. First thing in the morning, cold outside, and it does get cold here. It gets below freezing, but it's cold outside, and he's not worried about which way the toilet paper goes or how to make mop water or how he wants his coffee made or how to wash clothes. No, Lieutenant Brian Rickles, a phenomenal company officer, goes and finds a vacant in the Alphabet Streets, near where my granddaddy lived until he died in 2002. Had a chain link fence, and Lieutenant Brian Rickles had a new firefighter stretch our pre-connects over and over the fence, through the gate, triple split, just over and over and over and over and over again. And it was that same shift. They're pulling up on a shotgun house, well involved. The only room that wasn't on fire is the one the 4 kids were in. And now that firefighter, less than 24 hours into his first shift, never even ran a call before that day, is stretching an inch and 3/4 at an occupied shotgun wood frame, 4 kids inside. Do you think that's going to pay off for the rest of Lieutenant Rickles' life, that company's life, and that firefighter's life? The 4 kids died, but they could walk away knowing they did the best they could. They were ready. They kicked ass, man. Like they first due engine company, 4 people. They broke the rule of stretching line, you know, in series, not parallel. I don't want to get into all that stuff. And more I'm going to move to command stuff because, that's the kind of stuff I taught a lot of that in the 90s. And I didn't make it up, man. I got it out of Chief Dunn's book and other books, but Chief Clark's book. But they stretched 2 inch and 3/4, the 7/8 smoothbore 150, the 150 at 50, same time 300 GPM flow if the nozzles were open. For you people that don't understand operating off the boosters, they stop worrying about us fucking running out of water. You don't even know how to time your tank, dumbasses. But you stretch them 2 lines. If they were flowing, it'd be 300 gallons a minute. But guess what? The water mapping is 150 here, 150 here. There's times that 150 here, 150 here is buckshot. You're actually going to hit the bird in the fucking sky. We don't need a 30-06 because you ain't going to shoot shit down. And they stretched off that tank 2 lines simultaneously. And we pulled up. Travis took a picture through the windshield as I was getting out of the car. And I'm running up there and I'm yelling at Peter. He throws out a 50-foot 2.5, throws me a nozzle with an 1.8 tip. I spin it on as the chief. I'm blitzing right through the open gate, through the wood slatted gable. He's pumping his shit out of it. I mean, I bet that 1.8 was flowing over 300 GPM. Dennis, we don't fucking need the 1 3/16. We just pump the shit out of the 1.8. Hydraulic truck work. Blow the gable out. You got the 2 brothers kicking ass. One's going down the Bravo side. One's going down the Delta side, both with 1.75. Individual water map in each room at a time. A 2.5 through the gable, knocking the shit out of a 100-year-old addict's got sap like concrete dripping out of it. Squad 3, Lieutenant Van Meter and Joe McCombs, find the only one that doesn't have fire going out of it that's up off the ground, butt up at like chest level. And all that fucking Halligan shit standing on it's like theory. You're training like shit at drill tower, it's asphalt or concrete. Half the time it's grass or sand. That shit don't work. Yeah, we should teach everybody. It's fucking brute force. Fucking help humping a brother up in there. Another guy, homemade DS ladder, ripping an AC out, whatever. But they get in there and they get the 4 kids. They're under the bed. And most of you heard it when I teach it. But simple answer is, you own an engine company, you got a brand new firefighter? The best keynote ever done, will never be beaten, was done before 9/11. Don't worry about that nozzle, kid. We don't go to fires anymore. I was on the front row, got there at 0500. I was on the front row, could have stepped up and touched Andy. My oldest son's middle name is named after Andy Fredericks. And Andy said it. An AED can only save 1 person at a time. A nozzle in an occupied 7-story apartment building, condominium, might save 100 people. How many people at Chief Leaf's fire on that Sunday morning, the Twin Parks fire, how many people were saved because the FDNY kicks ass at engine company operations, pushed into them zero visibility stairwells? I saw it, man. The door was burned, gone, crumpled. I had to take a chain. I got to go to the fire floor in the South Bronx and look at it. Like, engine company operations there saved lives. They had another fire when Tim Clett was a lieutenant on 88 engine, where they had an occupied building, some civilian fire battalions. But it'd been a shitload more people if 88 engine wasn't kick ass at stretching a line with a 15/16, I said it, with a 15/16 and moving in with a nozzle open, never shutting it down. It's a fire that was started by a kid, 5-year-old, with like a box, I don't know, something with a stove or whatever. But they still go back there every year for a memorial. People died, but a shitload of more people would have died if the nozzle didn't make it to the seat of the fire. The nozzle didn't make it to the seat of the fire. And absolutely, the foundation of firefighting is the nozzle getting to the last room of fire, supported by coordinated ventilation. What type, when, and how much?
Chief, I'll make quick announcements to everybody. Vigilantes out there, there will be no after party after the scrap. I'm just telling you right now out the gate, because one thing is I have to download the scrap, and you guys all know from every week how long you have to wait. I'm just going to start the download so it can happen. Chief, I'm gonna throw curveballs at you here, because this is going to be a long scrap. We're already 90 minutes in, so we do the 5
Really?
questions. We're already 90 minutes in.
Hey, that's why I do timers when I teach.
Fair.
I have to have timers. If not, I'd be in there 3 hours.
Well, I'm just telling you, I'm not into it. I'm just going to mix it up and throw a curveball at you, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle the 5 questions throughout. So are you ready for the first one?
Yeah.
There is no right or wrong answer. It's just your opinion. And there's only been one other person who's answered these questions. These are the brand new 5 questions version 5.0. I think it's 5.0. Don't ask me. I'm just the host. Where is my notes here?
Okay.
Here we go.
While you're looking for your notes, First person to text me, the phenomenal badass fireman, that passionate, purpose-driven, that in good intentions, good heart, put the first book of Andy together, and all you did was pay the cost for it to be printed. First person to text me, the badass fireman, put all of his articles in one book. Free pass to water on the fire. My phone's fucking blowing up.
Of course it is.
All right.
All right, I love it. The only other person who's answered this question is Dave Hageman, Chief Hageman, and no pressure, but like you said earlier, he has a PhD and a lot of but no. So you're the second person to answer him. Are you ready for the number one?
Yeah.
You can do number one, no right answer, just your opinion. You can do anything in the world except be a firefighter. What would you choose to be?
Well, it was already, and Dave Hageman's a mentor of mine, a friend of mine. And I actually told this to Dave Hageman, and I hate coming a day after a guy of his discipline and character and education, but a pilot. The only other thing I ever wanted to be in my life was a pilot. Ooh. And in 1989, I spent 7 days camping for like I was sleeping under a tent out in front of the football stadium at the Air Force Academy, where Chief Hageman's son's going to play football. And I promise you, if he's still playing football there his junior year, I'm going to a football game.
Love it.
But be a pilot, you know what I mean? And you know, it's easy to say the Blue Angels, they never get old, but you know, be a pilot, man. I just Dan Bender's, you know, watching my buddy, he's working right now. He's a aircraft mechanic, but he's a supervisor, you know, checks off. And I like hanging out with him because, you know, just talking about planes, man. And you know, pilots. The only other thing that I was ever passionate about, you know, I just think it's the coolest shit in the world. I'm hoping Brandon Dunn's gonna fly his new plane down here and pick me up so I can go teach for free at his fire department.
I love it. And
one of my top mentors of all time, personal friend. And the only reason I really, you know, probably am teaching the caliber I do is because of him, Kenny Perkins. He was first deputy chief of Escambia County. He's the longest standing fire chief in the history of Escambia County. Kenny Perkins, he became the deputy chief and the fire chief of Fort Walton Beach. He walked away from Fort Walton, retired early, and he's got his pilot license. You know, and I can't say that I'm ever going to get my pilot license, but you know, I just think flying planes is cool as shit. I think planes are cool. My dad was an aircraft mechanic in the Air Force. You know, my lifelong friend Jake Noah lives across the street. His son, you know, Wyland, he's in the Navy, and I just think that shit's cool. Planes are cool all the way around.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Max points on number one. We'll mix in another one here in a bit. Now back to the questions from the audience. And I like this question, Chief. This is not the type of question you probably like to answer, but I still like the question, so I'm going to throw it at you. And it comes from Bradley Feely. He said, between conferences, lectures, and seminars, how do you square the impact you have had on the fire service at large? CFT has impacted crews internationally. What does that mean to you as a brother?
I really don't know the answer. I know this, and it's not just because it's like, you know, what I'm supposed to say is the truth. CFT is not me. It's a team. It's a huge team. Mike Turpak hasn't taught at a CFT conference in a while, but Mike Turpak's still on the CFT team right now. Like, you know, at the end of the day, like, you know, I hate to say this, but it's the truth. I just think about what we hadn't done yet. You know what I mean? Like, the other day when I asked, 2 days ago, when I asked the audience how many of them knew what a PRV valve was, and if they could tell me what it was, only 2 hands went up. And I wasn't mad at them. I don't think, there's just so much shit to know. So I told all of them, I said, well, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to teach you a little bit about it. You know what I mean? And, you know, I'm not Bill Guston or, you know, Brooksy or, you know, a bunch of other, you know, phenomenal high-rise guys, but they can't be everywhere. You know what I mean? Shit, I asked a bunch, you know, I mean, I asked Jimmy Davis and Clark Lampion and Kyle Smith and Brooksy to come to Memphis with it. None of them were available, right? because at first I thought I was just going there to like do CFT fire school. I didn't realize they wanted a bunch of stuff on high rise. I know all this stuff. I know Chief McGrail's book word for word, the whole book. I got an old version, but some books you're not allowed to touch. They're antiques. So I got a new copy right here. It's the first book on high rise I ever wrote. First person to text me and tell me who he is. Water on the Fire Conference. O'Hagan. First person to text me to the phone who O'Hagan was. And then you can trump somebody by putting a little bit more information about really who he was and what his impact was. Right? But if you didn't know what book this was, this is it right here. High rise fire and life safety. And my first job was a fire inspector, so I understand like engineering, enforcement, and all that stuff. So I've studied it, and I'm not a Jerry Tracy. All them guys, they got the experience. I got the book smarts, and I've operated in a lot of high rise buildings, but I've only been to minor, fires. The most significant fire I've been into on a high rise, 1 3/4 inches, put it out with no problem. But anyways, what was the damn question again?
It was the impact that CFT has had. What does it mean to you?
Oh yeah. I just think about what we have to do that we haven't done yet. So PRV valves, like how do I get it when I go in a room and everybody knows what it is? Like, the fast wrench. Like, so we can tell it now. Somebody texts us. February 23rd, 1991, One Meridian Plaza.
One Meridian.
On September 14th, I'm going to Philly. I'm going to go over and go by. I'm going to go out just for a walk from the Marriott, and I'm going to go walk by One Meridian Plaza and just say a prayer, man, for the brothers that paid the price. You know what I mean? Like, to what is this? You know what I'm saying? It's for a fire ground adjustable PRV valve, and just knowing how to size up a PRV valve. And what is it? It's like a damn relief valve on the side of a pump panel, but it's locked in position. You don't just turn it like you do the relief valve on a pump panel. You need a tool, and you need to know what you're doing, understanding flow restrictors, and things like that. So I don't walk around thinking about what we did. I mean, I just don't. I think about how awesome it is to have a CFT team, a CFT green team. I've been approached twice about things being purchased, and my answer was, well, it's not for sale. It wouldn't matter how much money you would do, because ethically I wouldn't know how I would split up the money. I mean, CFT's reputation's been built by Bill Guston, Ray McCormick, Mike Champo, Bob Morris, Dave McGrail. I mean, the list is huge. Mike Turpak, Mike Lombardo, the best of the best, man. My mentors, Jim McCormick. I mean, it can never be for sale, because the reputation, I didn't build the reputation. The CFT team built the reputation. And these people believe in CFT. And, Elkhart Brass allowing us to put them on our logo. Like, that's a legit 100-year-old company. We have their XD nozzle. We can't go around and do something stupid and make Elkhart Corporation look bad. You know what I mean? Like, how our instructors operate and what we do. So I'm just thinking about what we're going to do next. I don't keep track of, I've never even kept track of what cities I've been to or what states I've been to. I don't know how many people I've ever taught. It doesn't really matter. It's like who I haven't taught is what matters. You know what I mean? Who I haven't impacted. And I tell you, like, I'm gonna tell you right now, any picture, any video on CFT Fire Ops on a website, it's yours. Download it, share it, tweak it, change it, quarterback it. Don't give me credit. I mean, because all I did was regurgitate the stuff out of these books, like this book right here. Now don't lie to me. You read this book, text me, I'll give you a free pass just to tell me you read this book, right? Like, this is deep stuff. Automatic sprinklers and the standpipe systems. Water on the Fire, free pass. If you can text me and tell me in simple sentence or two about the Omega sprinkler heads. Omega sprinkler heads in the 90s. Had 2 fires based on Omega sprinkler heads.
Omega sprinkler heads. Getting a deep dive on the sprinklers. I gotta go ahead. Tom Brennan's random thoughts. Man, you talk about great. I always tell people,
every company officer every parent, male or female, it's a firefighter that has a kid, male or female kid in the fire department. You need to buy this book and get your kid to read a page a day out of it. Just a page a day. Back, random thoughts, back page. Now my buddy Champo writes the back page. This book is the foundation of my tactics. I started reading it as a kid. Trying to see it here, 1988.
Yes.
It's just crazy. It happens to be when I officially became a junior firefighter is when he started writing this January in 1988. And it ain't a joke. When I got fire engineer in the mail, and I'll tell you, I got it because of Rick Delt. My dad, he's a deputy chief at Midway, ran the Midway Water Department. He turned me on to fire engineering. First time I touched it, man, I was addicted to it. Shit, I didn't need Playboy anymore. Hell, Hugh Hefner, fuck Hugh Hefner, man. I'm fucking Tom Brennan all day long. I don't even know who Hugh Hefner is anymore. I'm reading the back page, Tom Brennan, every month. 1992, I think it was. He did an article on ropes. I went down to Ace Hardware, Highway 98 in Oriole Beach Road, got me a rope, put me some things on each end of it. And then like 7 years later, I'm up on top of the Days Inn, 3-story occupied motel, fire on the first floor, second floor, third floor, 48 motel rooms burning. And Chief Baker had me do a trench cut on the opposite side of firewall because there was breaches in it. And I dropped that rope down. They hooked it onto an inch recorder, pulled under the roof. And yes, I was shooting fucking water through a trench cut on the wrong side of the firewall because you got to know when to tactically deviate. You got to know when to get outside the norm. Y'all listening? You can write this shit down. Scared money don't make money. Scared money don't make money, right? Like Coach Billy Napier. Sometimes you got to know, like positive pressure exposure protection. That's some crazy shit. But if you study fire behavior, coordinated fire attack, I've done it before. No, we don't want it in the foundational tactics book. But hopefully you got a fire ground commander that knows, you know what? We've been fighting this fire for hours. We don't have enough staffing to get people on the other side of the firewall to the third floor, to the motel rooms on this side, to the other motel rooms on the other side, to pull the ceilings, to put water the textbook way. We got me and another guy climbed a 35-foot fully extended, not 3 to 5 rungs above the roof. That's the fucking day I found out why you wanted 3 to 5 rungs. I got to the tip of the ladder and it was right there at the roof. It sucks being at a 35-foot ladder, probably steeper than 75 because it was on the backside where it was just like slope. In fact, I got a picture at that job of Maurice. He caught one of the hydrants and he's walking up to the job, and a Pensacola News photographer took a picture of Maurice walking up from the plug at that fire. But no, it was me and another guy. So we trench it top to bottom, but we don't push it or pull it. And when we do, heavy heat was accumulating on that side. Not much smoke because that brick firewall, it was radiating through like a pizza oven, you dumbasses. Heat's going to go through. It's what you cook a pizza in. But the breaches, fire was flaming through. So we took a hose line through a vertical opening so the water could run down a masonry firewall to allow the other side to self-vent and burn itself out. Guess what? All 48 of them hotel rooms, 25 years later, still being rented out.
Scared money,
But
don't
you know what
make
you got to
money.
do? You got to have a playbook. One of the first things I did 25 years ago was come up with seat assignments and establish, irons position, nozzle position, all that kind of stuff. And then Craig Amons ended up retiring as he was the third training captain ever in the history of Escambia County. I was the first training captain, and then it was Rick Hawkins, and then it was Craig Amons. But he took the seat assignments and he put them in this little book. And I still got a copy. It means a lot to me. So if Cap Amons, he's retired now. In fact, Cap Amons, I think, taught me my first CPR class back in the 80s. But it's got it on there based on like what the driver does. And this is a vehicle fire. And it has everything like get out of dry chem, CO2, block traffic. And so, these are little things that we have to have, man. We got to have a playbook. You know why FDNY can, go to a third alarm in a 6-story tenement, like that picture on a corner that's like 50 years old from O'Hagan and, doing ladder 7. It's because they got all that shit written down.
Mm-hmm.
It says what the 4th due truck irons firefighter does at a strip mall, and it's different at a tenement, and it's different. But most fire departments that don't have that detailed of a playbook, so you have some basics, and then you hope you have a coach that can call some audibles and tweak it based on, today I got 15 on the box, but yesterday at that fire I had 20 on the box. It was the same building. I just need a 10-second break so I can do this.
Right on.
Some mindfulness. Be mindful. Live in the moment.
All right. Chris Wessels had a question that kind of came up. It goes along with one of the topics you texted me today. So I wanted to bring up his question, even though it's a jump in the queue, so to speak. Chief Wessels asks you, Chief Ike, what is your vision of legacy?
My vision of legacy is not about my boys, both my boys being in the fire service on the job. My vision of legacy, and I'll use the Escambia County Fire Rescue, and I've had this conversation this last week with a handful of people. If in a year or 5 years from now, Escambia County somehow went backwards operationally, they weren't aggressive anymore. They didn't do VES. They're not cooking meals in a firehouse. They're not drilling. They're not hanging out at the kitchen table. They're not doing the things that a large number of people worked on to build from day one. The first fire chief, Mike Slover and Kenny Perkins, they wanted, a miniature FDNY, for lack of a better term. They wanted that culture of eating in a firehouse, being firefighters, pro bars, smooth bores, whatever you call it. Leather helmets, but just like being in the job. Like, it's okay to love the job. And so for me, legacy is that you left something positive and it survives beyond your time. Because if a year, 5 years from now, Escambia is not better, I fucking failed. I failed. When the day I left, and I was the senior battalion chief, the next guy's the senior battalion chief. If I didn't do my job to prepare him to step in, I'm just using the senior battalion chief just as an example,
sure,
then it's my fault. I screwed up. If I didn't instill in enough people to maintain whatever it is, the culture of eating and certain just things, I failed. A coach, a leader leaves to go to another organization. Their organization should never take one step back or they failed, on that operation. And, like at Escambia, they should do nothing but just explode, just because right now all the stars have lined up in such a phenomenal way. It's a good thing. So I think that's what legacy is. Like if you look up the definition, it's like leaving a stock of money or, whatever. But I think in a fire service, it's the whole leaving it better than you found it, and the ability for them to make it better once you're gone. When somebody else's new ideas come in, they can be positive to build on your ideas together.
Love it. I got a picture for you, Chief. It got sent to me. You have a look now, and it's called the Ike, okay? And this is from Rob Ramirez. He asked, who wore it better?
Oh, he does. He looks good.
He's looking pretty good. I mean, he's got the
absolutely.
He's got the Ike down with the hat, the glasses.
Hey, and he knows the white shirt's it, man.
There you go.
Rob Ramirez, he's on the CFT team. I actually got a check sitting in an envelope, swear to God, on my kid's life, sitting on the desk in there that Jessica mailed. It was one number off. And then was going to FDIC, and in my brain, he was teaching at FDIC. I don't know why he didn't. And it was in my briefcase. Well, I went to FDIC, and then shit went to fucking hell in a handbasket. And I didn't open my briefcase until Monday. So it's been closed since the day I taught at FDIC. It's crazy. I mean, like I told you, it's been that long.
Right.
But anyways, Robert had to check an envelope. It's just ironic.
There you go. I didn't know that story, but I love the picture. What was I going to ask? Talk about mental health here for a minute. We're going to go to the Mental Health Mayday. And Joshua Stewart wants to know, what should we look for in ourselves and our brothers to know when to call that Mayday?
Okay, first and foremost, my apologies to anybody to Escambia, anybody anywhere that I offended, embarrassed, or whatever for what happened May 8th. For those that don't know it, I have zero recollection. The last thing I remember on May 8th is getting on an airplane. I was flying first class on United into DC Reagan. And when I got on the plane, I thought I'd been fired. I thought I'd been fired because it was said that I couldn't be off. I couldn't use swaps. I couldn't be on, unpaid leave. So my brain was I was choosing to go the IFF COE to be alive because I was having suicidal ideations. So I thought my job was over to Escambia. Like I thought my world was over with. And I got on a plane first class, and I drank more in 2 hours than I ever have 2 hours in my entire life, ever. I'm not proud of it. I drank 14 vodkas and orange juices in less than 2 hours. And that's just a speculation. I know what my blood alcohol content was when they checked me when I got checked into the COE. I remember basically the last thing I remember was getting on the plane. I remember at the COE talking to the doctor and the nurse. I have some blurred vision of a bunch of firefighters, awesome people, thank you, that found me. And I was behind security. So when I got off the plane, I didn't walk past checkpoint to baggage. I got off the plane, and somewhere close by, I found some corner cubbyhole, like where you maybe sleep overnight, you know what I mean, at the airport. I'm speculating. And obviously, everybody knows I did some stupid shit on social media. And the truth is, man, on my parents' grave, my family, I don't fucking remember any of it. None of it. I don't remember any of it, man. I was in a whole nother. What I do know is I had a plan when I got on a plane, and I was drinking to pull off that plan, and God intervened and kept me behind that security gate, got me in a corner. Obviously, I did a bunch of stupid shit. And then the brother around the country got some DC airport firefighters to fucking do a search, find me, take my electronics, and get me to the van, the IFF COE van, and get me, where I went for 42 days. But I don't have the exact answer about it. I think it's a little different for everybody. I think when you don't have the desire to get out of bed, if you're laying in bed and you're like, if your brain tells you, hey, it's okay if I go to sleep and I don't wake up, that's suicidal ideations, whether you like it or not. If you lay in bed and when you're laying there, you're just like, you know what, man, in your brain, you're just like, you know what, man, it's no big deal. If I don't wake up tomorrow morning, that's fine. That's kind of like suicidal idea. That means you don't have a desire to live. I had that, and that's depression. And I read that book. I don't want to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about it. Well, the book's title, I don't want to talk about it. And men's depression is an epidemic. It's a bigger problem than people realize because we're not supposed to have that problem. We're supposed to be strong, tough, whatever. But like over the last 3 years, man, I've cut off friendships. I've disconnected, self-isolated beyond what you would believe the last 3 years. I mean, even being on the CFT team, though, the last year to 18 months, even at conferences, I would just go hide in my room. I wasn't real visible outside of introducing somebody on the stage. But I think what's important is that we all know it is so we can recognize it in somebody else. So I think it's easier for us to recognize that somebody else is possibly being challenged, having a bad day, a bad week, a bad month, a bad year. They're falling in depression, and then we can reach out to help them. I think more so than not, we're going to be in denial. Be open and honest with your primary care physician. If you go to a clinician, be honest with your clinician. You got to be honest, man. If you got to tell them the truth. Talk to your psychiatrist. I hated drugs and medication, but some of that stuff you got to take it. It works. It levels out your stuff. It's just like your testosterone's down to 200. You ought to be taking testosterone shots. I think it's a big thing. And if you get help, I think you could have the best life you've ever had. I think Jessica and I are going to have the best life we've ever had in the future. I really do. I think it's coming. I think I'm going to be the best person I've ever been. I know this. My parents raised me to not be judgmental. But I can tell you, man, 42 days at IFF COE, I'm the least judgmental I've ever been about anybody. Like, and you're going to see me post it every once in a while, man. Everybody in meet's fighting a battle you know nothing about. Be kind always. You just got no fucking clue, man. Like, you know, you can look at me and say, oh man, he's got it all. You know what I mean? Great wife, great kids, you know, lives on the water, you know, and all that shit don't matter, man. If I'm miserable, you know what I mean? And I'm depressed and I don't want to get out of bed. You know, like that's not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, we got a lot of work to do, and I'm going to do whatever I can do to help Dina Alley, you know, help, you know, Chief Lieb. I don't want to be like the front man. I don't want to spearhead it. But absolutely, I got an obligation to get more involved. And obviously everybody knows, I'm very open and shared with the whole fire service. And I always will, because, you know, I get a lot of people want to be private, but, you know, I was just raised by mother and father, you know, grew up in the church that, like, you know, I think it's just my job as your neighbor, as your friend, as your family member, to let you know that we all have battles and struggles and bad days. And we just all got to team up and be together and help each other out. And just, you know, try to get better. And it didn't have to be biblical, man. I don't care. You be atheist. I say it the same way all the time. But if you're in the valley, there's only one way to go. It's the mountaintop. So fucking, man, start climbing, right? And get to the mountaintop and check out the view. And you can either stay there and camp out, or you can look for that higher mountaintop and be like an Eric Tolan and say, I'm going to go climb that bitch, and go climb it.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Thank you, A, for sharing it. And yeah, no, the being vulnerable and sharing and the communicating everything, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome to see. So shifting on you, palate cleanser to second question of the 5 questions for firefighters. You've answered this one before, but we'll see if you have a different song, because this is the song question. You are en route to Jobtown. Think of the scene from Backdraft where he slaps that tape into that cassette deck. What song is Chief Ike playing while en route?
All Along the Watchtower, Jimi Hendrix.
All right.
I played that in Portland at firemanship in my It's Worth the Risk program.
Oh, brother, when you broke that down for you came to OKC and taught here a two-day, and you broke down the lyrics, and it was a really cool part. I don't remember which program it was. It
made sense though when I break it down and I highlight. Then people are like, "Oh shit, that does relate to the fire service."
No, it's beautiful. I love music so much that I connect with lyrics. So again, max points. It is already on the playlist, but from you being here before. Next question is coming at you from Jeremy Humphrey. Let me see. No, wait. We asked that one. I'm looking.
I thought Kyle Romigus was actually doing something and putting his shit together for you.
He's got so many here. He's doing an amazing job, Chief. He's doing awesome.
I mean, he put this damn thing together. Shit, you can't write down a couple questions.
he's got a ton of good ones.
All right.
Go ahead.
Another free pass. First person to text me and tell me who wrote this book.
You might have to say the name because it's a little blurry.
Firefighting Principles and Practices.
Firefighting Principles and Practices.
It's the first edition.
I say mine's blue, I think, right?
Fuck, Corley, who the fuck gives you the permission to be giving shit like that out? This ain't to like give them a damn fucking what's that millionaire show? This ain't call a friend. Or what fucking 50-50 shit,
it's phone a host. It's phone the host. They had already answered.
All right. The new edition's the Blue Book, one of the most powerful books you're gonna ever read. It's the first book I ever read that 50 GPM per firefighter staffing based on fire flow needs for fire control. Oh, and I got to show my book, my buddy, my mentor, my guy, one of the biggest guys out build CFT, got me as a gift. I'm the only guy that has a hardback. I don't think even Romigus has got this bitch. Copyright 1996, but it's the Engine Company Operations Manual. Like their things are in sheets, but it's hardback of the entire thing inside. And I'm not gonna read the thing to you. My buddy Ray wrote something to me, but this is like one of my top books. but Ray got this as that gift. So this entire FDNY engine company operations manual, Ray had it custom made into a hardback book. So
That's awesome.
we're talking about studying the job, being into the job. Like, that's the kind of shit that happens when you network and you love this job so much and you hang out with, great people. And if you haven't bought this book, maybe you'll get some more printed. I don't know what the deal is with a publisher, but Campo's Tower Ladder book.
Love
All right,
it.
sorry there. I just throw that in there.
No, Kyle's let us know Kyle's letting us know he has it. Allegedly.
Oh, stop, because
Hey,
he kissed Ray's ass and got one.
Curt is on fire. He's on me, and he's on Kyle. All shots fired. Rob Fisher's coming at you with a
Together,
question.
we will see it through.
Rob Fisher wants to know, Chief Ike, I'm sure you've learned many leadership lessons, good and bad, over your career. What one have you implemented most recently?
Don't say everything you think. Don't say everything you think. Like, I'm now and will be from this day forward, I'll be the best listener I've ever been. But I'm going to be able to engage more because I've been like just sitting back, not talking. Like the other night, man, I got so excited. I was hanging out with, the CFT team, and we were drinking just Cokes, man. Like, it was crazy. And, last night we did the same thing, man. Like, we weren't drinking alcohol and we were smoking a cigar. We were just talking fire shit, man. I was telling fire stories. You know what I mean? Like war stories of fires when I was in Pensacola and stuff like that. And, the leadership lesson is like, don't always say everything, and then let like everybody else a chance to be involved in a conversation so you can learn something from them. And since you brought that up, this is from 2017. This is my book that started in 2017. You can't make this shit up. That's what it says. You can't make this shit up. Some of my stories. So don't say everything you think. Sometimes just think shit and don't say it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing more to add to that one. I love this question coming at you from down under. It's coming from Luke Stevenson. He's coming from the future. He wants to know, and this is a multi-tiered question here, but if you could give yourself a piece of advice at each step of your firefighter career. So firefighter, driver, officer, chief. I like this. I've never heard this question before, so I kind of like I've heard it in different forms, but never all along the way.
Yeah. So I think the most important thing, and one of my guys that, man, like I trained him as a firefighter 25 years ago. He was one of my lieutenants. He's a captain out of the beach, Captain Dan Coons. Him and I spent 2 hours one-on-one last night talking. And, I think it'd be kind of what we were talking about is like, just enjoy the moment of that rank and that station. Like, if you're at a station and it's not the one you want to be at, make the most of while you're there, being there, and enjoy it. Don't be miserable waiting the year to get the seniority to make it to that company you're dying to go to. Don't waste that year while you're there. Make the most of it. You know what I mean? So I think the advice would be is don't race for retirement. And stand by. It's gonna take you 5 seconds.
Stand by. Standing by. I love it when she says stand by and then disappears.
So this goes with this thing. So this was my mom gave it to me, and it's been hanging on my locker at Escambia for 18 years. And it's retirement is always a journey, not a destination. The side is 60, and it's like an old article you can see.
Oh,
and
yeah.
This is like it's on top of Trevor's dresser, my oldest son. So I took it down, I put it on top of his dresser. I mean, I'm being passive aggressive. I want him to read it. But like basically, man, don't rush the end of your life. I mean, like, enjoy the part about riding the nozzle, being the firefighter. Enjoy being the driver. Just like, and enjoy the moment, man. Like, You know, it's kind of like when people say, just turn your fucking phone off and be present. Like, I'm going to tell you something. Last night, man, we had dinner at that Bass Pro Shop, and the 6 of us, like, sitting there, nobody's on their phones. And we're just having family dinner, you know, as a cadre of instructors, you know, just talking. So my advice would be enjoy the moment of each rank, and enjoy the time, and, you know, just don't be rushing shit too much. It's okay to want to get promoted. It's okay to get all your classes and all that stuff, but like, just enjoy the time. And I give that same advice to my kids.
I love it. I love it.
All right, another free pass. Another free pass.
Go for it.
First person to text me, the person that is the actual author of the FTTN fire notes, stretching and operating the first line.
There you go. There's the number. Sam has thrown the number up in the chat. There's your challenge from Chief Ike. I don't even know how many he's given out already. And you'll find out if you won when he gets to check his phone, because his phone is blowing up. Hey, there's the blue book. I know that one. Did I tell you about
hey, this thing's got so much highlighting, underlying notes. That's why I tell people, man, you can have any of my programs. All my shit's damn plagiarized from all these books.
All right. Back to it. Kyle, you're doing an amazing job grabbing questions. I like to throw out the shout out there. But I think I would know the answer, but Impertum wants to know, what's the best piece of literature for new guys on the job? Best piece of literature for new guys on the job. There you go.
Because it's simple, man. January 1988, until he wrote his last one in 2005 or whatever it was.
And just for the audio, he held up Tom Brennan's Random Thoughts. I have to say that, so the people that aren't watching the video.
Some of them might be 2 pages, but most of them are just 1 page. Fires you never read about, like, you know, on tools, loose ends. It's just primary search. When can you abort? I mean, you know, make the building behave, accountability. I just throw up a ladder and get them. I mean, like, this thing right here, man. I mean, this should be just given to them at the fire academy when they get out of recruit school. Like, you got to read 1 Random Thoughts a day until you're done.
Phenomenal. Great answer. Great question, Impertum. Great answer, Chief Ike. I like this one's coming out from Dane, y'all. Dane wants to know, what is the greatest lesson you learned from the worst officer?
Don't be an asshole.
That's a pretty good lesson.
Don't be an asshole. Yeah. Don't be a dictator. You're supposed to, it's simple, man. You're the officer. You put them first. You take care of them. You mentor them. You know, you do whatever you got to do. Don't bitch about their slow learner or whatever. You know, you're the slow teacher. That's what the fuck you are. You know, there's not a slow learner. There's a slow teacher, a shitty teacher, a sucky teacher. That's what there is just you coach them. You know what I mean? But just don't be an asshole, man. You know, I was fortunate. I mean, most of the officers that I worked for, man, like, were amazing. I mean, you know, just phenomenal. But they exist. And that's one thing I'm proud to say in Escambia County, man, like, across the board. I don't have to like them. They don't have to like me. We don't have to want to go to lunch together. But, man, we're just blessed with so many great company officers. And they all got their pros and cons. But we just don't have dictators, man. Like, they take care of their people. They don't belittle them. And it's just crazy to me that ever even existed. I don't comprehend it, man. Like, it just makes no sense to me. Like, you know, I don't know, man. Like, just weird. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, that's it, man. Just, I know it's just, don't be an asshole. I mean, like, you know, you're in charge. That's fine. Be in charge, be accountable, but being a boss is work, man. Like, it's work. And once you get promoted, even Jessica talks about it, like when I got promoted and her trying to learn about, hey, it's like a whole new job. It's a new position. It is different when you're an officer and like being available for your people when you're off. Like a firefighter, when you get off, you're off. You become a company officer, especially a chief, like your people should be able to contact you on their days off if they need to for something. You know what I mean? Like there's just no being off. You know what I mean? You know, you got to put them first. Anybody who's been to a bunch of CFT conferences, if anybody from Escambia County Fire Rescue is sitting on the back row, if they're just attending for a half a day or one day, it don't matter if 600 people's at a CFT conference. When I get off stage, you know where I'm going? To the back row where the Escambia folks are. Even if I don't have 1 minute, because I'm busy, I'm going to say, hey, because they, no matter what, no matter how much I travel, no matter, they are my immediate brothers. You know what I mean? Like I go to fires with them. I'm obligated to make sure I give them free passes to conference, get them training. But when they come there, I'm the officer. Then my job is to be their leader, not just for the day of teaching a conference, 24/7, 300. My job is to develop them. If I'm teaching a one-day seminar, I'm just here to give you some nuggets. You might be a fire department, right? But if I'm the chief and I got people in my fire department, then my job's not just that day. My day's loving them up, putting them first, taking care of them, hoping I can develop them into their next level.
Love it, man. I want to hit you with another of the 5 questions. Tomorrow morning, you wake up. This is number 3. By the way, you have max points on 1 and 2, which is expected. But number 3, tomorrow morning, you wake up and you are the chief of department. It can be a small suburban department. It can be a large urban department. Your choice, whatever. But you wake up, you're the chief, and you can do whatever you want. What is the first change you are making? The first general order. What's the first thing you're doing?
Well, I mean, there's so many things, but I'm just going to keep it simple. I mean, I think because it's amazing how many don't have it. I would institute stuff like the identifier, like it would be operated like identification, accountability across the board, like from air packs, apparatus, like Brunacini 40 years ago came up with the slider thing, and people still don't have that on their fire trucks. FDNY in the 70s were taking cardboard and taping the number over the reserve apparatus. So accountability across the board, you know, through just accountability from identification of gear, air packs, rigs, call signs on radios, and the staffing assignments of just the accountability and everything it involves.
Boom, dude. What
another water on the fire.
Here we go.
Pass. First person to text me the author, and this is a brand new copy of the book Fire Attack: Command Decisions and Company Operations.
Fire Attack: Command Decisions and Company Operations. Text the author. Sam put the number up.
I got 3 copies of it. That's just my newest. And that one book in there has like about the whole 2 company series, the pumper and the steamer, and why we second rig lays lines and all that other shit. But anyways, that's it.
I love it.
Right. I'm doing a lot of this. I'm doing a lot of this stuff just to kiss Kyle's ass, to get him all excited. This is up his alley.
Brett Kelly, this is a question we get all the time on the scrap. I'm sure you've had this question hundreds and hundreds of times as you've taught, but it's Chief. Brett Kelly says, Chief, I've been living by the 10% of pressure 100% of the time. How would you go about motivating officers to try to be more into training and into the job? It's the question of questions that's come up over and over.
Rob Fisher's answer: 10 pounds of pressure 100% of the time. Be creative. Don't ever embarrass them. Don't force them into it. Maybe you lead a drill that at no time are they uncomfortable, but by the end of the drill, the start of the drill they didn't want to do it, but the end of the drill they're comfortable with. And I just use like the door prop. So you go over there and you say, hey, gap, set, force, hit, drive, stop. You force the door. Somebody else force the door. You do it a while until you look at them. You're just like, hey, John, man, will you swing the axe for me? You know what I mean? Because that's all you do, swing the axe. And hey, John, you want to go any Halligan tool? And then now what they realize is you never exposed that they didn't know, gap, set, force, hit, drive, stop. But now they're like, fuck, I want to be good at that, man. They know now. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to. It's like the thing when I teach and I say, hey, somebody got a question that somebody else needs to know the answer. It's like, you gotta, you know what I mean? Like, you got to slowly, man. You just got to kind of slide it in there. You know what I mean? They don't even know you're doing it. You're just kind of sliding it in there.
Like it. I like it. And it's the question we get over and over and over. And Rob does have, I mean, it's the universal answer, 10 pounds, 100% of the time, but I love the pointers.
And I can tell you this, in Pensacola, I had quite a few captains, and they all did 30 years. Most of them got hired in the 70s, that they, but by the end of their career, you know, some of us on their last day, but some of us after they retired, they came to me and they said, Ike, man, you were such a pain in my ass when you first got hired, but somehow, some way, you got me loving the job more my last year or two. Like, you know, I got them where they wanted to buy a tool, or they wanted like the radio strap that they made fun of. And it's because I never like degraded them. I was never rude to them. I mean, like I accepted that they do what they know. And once they bought into it, you know what I mean? They ended up embracing it and buying into it and loving it. Like I said 2 days ago in Memphis, I'm like, most everybody that don't like something, they got a reason why they don't like it. You know what I mean? A dude that don't like a fog nozzle in the winter don't like it because it came on a job wearing 3/4 boots, no thermal liner, no hood, old school rubber mask. We were flowing 80 gallons a minute on a 30-degree fog nozzle. Hell yeah, we steamed them. Yeah. Well, you got to explain to them, we flow 150 gallons an hour. You straight or solid stream. You're wearing a fucking $5,000 in bunker gear, a hood. You're not going to steam them. You got to educate them. I mean, here's the deal. The Hammers built a fucking lot of houses, but I don't see no framers swinging a hammer as much as I see them fucking bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
Times change.
I love it. There's some good questions. I mean, there's so many questions, Chief. So I don't know how you're.
Corley, you're getting tired, dude. You're getting tired. You're getting old.
Energy level. I don't know what your I know what your energy level is at. I like this one from Walsh Hennant, and it says, Chief, what is the most important takeaway for a new father who loves the fire service and has to split his passion for the job and family?
Well, I didn't always do that so good. I mean, I went to the soccer games. You know, I love my family. But, you know, if I could do it over again, there's times I wouldn't have taken overtime, or I wouldn't have left the house to go to a fire. I mean, for 25 years, I had a car and go to any fire I wanted to go to. If I could do it over again, there's times I left the house and went to fires. I didn't need to go to that fire. I mean, shit, I was going to multiple fires a week, every week. So I really can't give a great answer. What I can tell you this is, man, when you're done and you retire and you don't have a job at the fire department no more, they still want to exist. So make sure you're always investing in them. You definitely put your family first. No doubt, man. We need people to love the job like we love it. But I have this thing with the CFT team. That's why we kind of changed it up. We went from January or first week of February till November, no hands-on. There was a while where we had 3 hands-on things going, and it's like some of these guys have young kids, so we don't want them away from their kids. So that's a leadership thing too, is this older folks that have their kids are grown adults is just, here, there giving some advice to younger folks. Hey man, you don't need to come to this, go to the ball game, be at home, do whatever, be present with your kids, because you'll never regret that.
Boom. Dominic Poston, why do you think holding people accountable is so hard for officers to do?
Because no matter what anybody says, people don't like to be disliked. They don't like to piss people off. They don't like to offend people. And you know what I mean? It's like that whole Nick Saban thing, man. If you want everybody to like you, sell ice cream. I mean, fuck, I ain't selling ice cream. My job is to command. My number one job is to command people at, calamities, emergencies, fires, car wrecks, special operations. It is critical that I have the utmost best command presence I can build. I have to have the strongest command presence where the person that hates me most on the department, if they're working and I'm in command of the incident, that their brain is thinking about executing my commands, not that they think I'm an asshole.
There you go.
People just don't want to have the hard conversations. People don't do it with their kids.
Yeah.
You follow home a piece of shit kid, you're going to find some piece of shit parents.
And
Racist kids have racist parents.
I love Chief Thompson when he says, if you show me a bad firefighter, I'll show you a company officer, battalion chief, and a chief that didn't do their job.
Yeah.
Chief, this one's coming from Jeremy Humphrey. He says, question, Chief, now that you are retired, what is the one hard life lesson learned on the job that you want to pass along? And did you avoid repeating it? I don't understand the last part, but one hard life lesson now that you're retired. But you've given a lot of them tonight, so there's a lot of these questions that are kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I go back to one earlier, just like enjoying the moment, man. Like, not trying to do it all. You know what I mean? Just chill out and just enjoy the time, because the end's going to come quicker than you realize. And the other big thing is, man, stop worrying about shit you can't control. If you're a firefighter or an officer at the firehouse, especially if it's an outlying firehouse, worry about what you eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What you gonna drill on? What movie you gonna watch? What you gonna make Cuban coffee or regular coffee after you take your afternoon nap? Like, my God, who cares what they're doing at fire headquarters other than you doing what they tell you to do on their things? Like, don't worry about it, man. Just enjoy the firehouse kitchen table. Have a good time. Go do a drill. Have fun. Like battalion chiefs and above, they got to worry about that stuff. Like, some of you have to worry, but like, and I've already told my kids this, like, stop worrying about something that might not never happen. Oh my God, they're going to do station assignments. Holy shit, they're doing dream sheets. My God, I could die next week. They're going to put me at engine 42. You're probably not going to engine 42. I mean, the lady that did 50 years is a professor at Harvard. She's one of the people that does this stuff on mindfulness. She said something like, some study said, like, over 75% of the shit that we worry about never comes to fruition. Stop worrying about shit that's probably never going to happen. Don't worry about it. They'll tell you when you get in, like, if you did what you need to do, got the classes, you worked your ass off to get to a more desirable station, desirable for you, it's going to happen. It always does. But don't be miserable for a shift or 100 shifts. Don't go home and be miserable at the dinner table because you might never go to that station that somebody told you that Johnny said, Billy said, Susie texted from Johnny that his aunt's uncle's related to the chief and you're going to squad 47. That shit ain't made up. That's the kind of crap that we worry about.
Oh yeah, we're our own worst enemies, man. Our brains will go nuts with the possibilities if we allow it. And in fact, Hageman talked about it on Tuesday. He talked about that, listening to ourselves instead of talking to ourselves.
Yeah.
Pretty powerful.
Hey, by the way, I'm not going to be able to look at these texts till tomorrow. Like, whenever I'm done here, Jessica will still be awake because she stays up late. So I'll have to go over, I'll have to look at those texts tomorrow. And then I'll get everybody, I'll text them back.
I love it, man. All right. Fourth question. This is a brand new question. It's kind of like the Mount Rushmore question, but this one is on the clock. Sam has the clock and he's going to get it ready. You get 1 minute to answer, and you are the backseat firefighter, the backstep firefighter on a 4-man engine. You can make it a truck if you want. Who do you choose to be the company officer, the apparatus operator, and the other firefighter? And go. I'm listening.
Bill Guston's the captain. My driver's going to be Kyle Smith from Cobb County. And then my other backstep firefighter is going to be Mike Lombardo.
There you go. 8 seconds. I didn't know if you were going to wait to go with 5 seconds and just rattle off 3 people. I didn't know what your plan was because I know you always have a plan, but I didn't know what the plan was. I was trying to figure it out.
I got too many people to mention.
I can only imagine your network and trying to figure that out. I can only imagine. But you officially have the fastest time, just so you know.
Really?
Yeah, Hageman had 7 seconds left, right? So you beat him by a second.
Well, I mean that's just his PhD, his military officer, West Point shit. Like he's not going to answer it quick because that's not an intelligent way to do it. The most intelligent way would be completed at 1 second left because you have a minute. Like we shouldn't be like we have to do time compressed decision making. Like Kimbrell's book, Sources of Power. You used to have to study it in the 90s at the National Fire Academy. It's got the chess piece that's kicked over. And it's where they studied urban city. The military did a study, and they actually studied chief officers like in New York City on life and death time compressed decision. Well, we have to do that. But if they told you got a minute to decide, well, fuck, you should be using a whole minute if you can. Like, you know what I mean? Like to analyze.
Sure.
Because so many times we don't have a minute or 5 minutes.
No.
It's like we just had this conversation the other night. My kids asked me a question. I don't have to give them an answer right now. Ask me tomorrow. Ask me Friday. Let me think about it. Lucas, back at spring break, wanted to go to his buddy's house from Sigma Chi down to Jupiter to get on. Their family has a big boat. They live on the water. They're going to take a boat from Jupiter down to Key West. Now, what's the natural answer most people are going to say?
No, yeah.
You're taking a boat from Jupiter, Florida, down to the Keys. You're like a bunch of college, fraternity brothers. No. And on top of that, if you're not familiar with it, 2 teenagers came fucking missing. They never found their bodies out of Jupiter years ago. And once again, like lie to death, that's the kind of shit that pops up in my head, man. And my brain's, popping up like, it's not hurricane season. What's the weather? Are they going to be smart enough if the swells get bad that they know that, no matter how good you can swim, if you don't know what way to swim, are they going to put their life jackets on? Do they have a backup, marine radio based on this? But I didn't just want to say no. I had to analyze it. And then I had to do some investigation and, hell, I don't know. Shit, his buddy might be 21 to have his damn 6-pack license or something. Shit, I don't know. Guess what? By the time I gave him before I even gave him an answer and I never said yes or no, he contacted me and says, all right, Dad, we just decided we're going to take his smaller boat, put it on a trailer, pull it down to Key West and launch it. And I said, fucking great idea. And then when they were coming back, there was a wildfire down there, which shut Route 1 down, so they were trapped down there. But those are things that sometimes if you got the time, don't answer the question, man. Like, if you're in charge, don't let them pressure you. It's like in a firehouse. The fire chief don't have to give you an answer. The battalion chief, the captain, they ask you, you know what? Let me think about it. I'll get back to you next watch.
There you go. Still tons of nugs. Man, Chief. I like it. I think we've hit almost all the questions. We've all hit them in some way, shape, or form. Dominic Poston asked this. Chief, our department has gone to mandatory 4 hours of training a shift. I like it, but I find it hard to get 4 hours some days. What would you
say? That's too much, man. Like
I was gonna
like guys got to have downtime, man. They got you got to prep 3 meals: breakfast, lunch, dinner. They got to have time to work out. You got the runs, you got the sleep, you got the BIs, you got stuff you got to put in. You mentally just need to be just taking a break. I think that's crazy. I'll be honest with you, straight up. If there was a way, absolutely, unequivocally, positively, to get every firefighter, every company in the American Fire Service to do 1 quality hour a shift, every shift they worked,
we locked. All right, just checking. I'm giving him a chance to get back. He couldn't have frozen in a more dramatic fashion. Did we lose him at 10:34 p.m.? He had 4 for 4 max points. It's officially an Ike. It's officially an Ike scrap because we have now broke the internet.
That is a great screenshot, though.
It really is. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a few minutes. Anybody want to say anything? I'll answer questions as we sit here and wait, man. It's been just hanging on while he goes. We'll see if he comes back. I'm gonna give it a few minutes and I'm gonna talk to you because if he does, we will absolutely finish the last question and wrap it up. Everybody, man, I always call having Ike on for a scrap. It's like holding a tiger by the tail. I affectionately refer to him as Hurricane Ike. And I don't mean that in a derogatory manner towards the Floridians who've actually had to suffer through Hurricane Ike. But I mean it in the fact that he is a force of nature. And yeah. Hey, and anybody notice his contemplative answers tonight? He has been very contemplative. There he is. I'm critiquing his answers until he gets back in here. It's spinning. We got a circle. I don't know if you guys see the circle. Kyle Romick said, take this opportunity to congratulate me on winning all of the passes. Josh Stewart said, just let the tiger go. He's trying. He's fighting to get in. Jess just pulled out the router cord. Please, someone screenshot this. I don't know, man. It was so I'll have to post his. He's calling me. Stand by, team. Yes, sir.
I'm still on.
Oh, there you are. You're back.
Mine's showing it's still recording.
You're back. Well, maybe you're back. I hung up on.
Oh, there you are. You're back.
I'm talking to you, Chief. We got you. Can you hear me? I don't think we got him.
You there? You got it?
We can hear you.
Yeah, I got you.
All right.
What happened?
You froze in a very comical fashion, and you were gone for about 2 or 3 minutes, or I don't know how long, 4 minutes, and now you're back.
Okay. What was the question?
Where were we? Sam, do you remember? I said a lot of things while you were gone.
I was in the middle of something.
Training, 1 hour training per day.
Oh yeah, 1 hour.
Yes.
Yeah, 1 hour training, game changer.
Yes.
1 hour.
Boom.
1 hour. Like what you can teach somebody on a quality drill in an hour. It could be bringing a rip pack into the station or out on the truck floor, getting out in a whizzer saw. I mean, just 1 hour real training. I'm telling you, nobody wants to admit this, man. The American Fire Service ain't training.
Oh, yeah. No.
I'm going to get fucking beat up and shot for it. I'm just going to fucking tell you, the American Fire Service ain't training.
Across the board, everywhere, 100% accurate.
People got excuses for it. That, like, you know what I mean? It's the first thing we cut in the budget. It's the first thing we cut out of our 24-hour accountability timetable.
No, and if they put anything new on the plate, you automatically know what's coming off the plate. 100%. And there are pockets that exist that do have some good training programs, but they are the exception and far from the rule. The rule is exactly what Chief just said. All right, Chief, any more giveaways you want to do?
Hell, I don't even know how many I did.
I don't either. It's been a few. Kyle Romiga said congratulate him on winning them all, though.
Yeah. He gets them fucking free anyways.
Then one thing.
All right. The author of this book, first person to text me. The Energy Bus.
The Energy Bus. And it's so hard. I just got to lock up. I got to be quiet. I don't want to get yelled at.
Did I do 10? I said I'd do 10, so I got to do 10.
I don't know. I don't know where you're at. I do not know, to be honest. I don't know if there's a way to check. But I don't think anybody's going to complain if you fell short or you went long. I'm going to hit you with the fifth. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Fifth question. You've had it before. Heavy fire, searchable space. Would you rather be assigned to the nozzle or first in on that window initiated search?
Nozzle. It's always the nozzle.
Always.
Nozzle's. It's not. Man, I've been a nozzle geek. You wouldn't even want to know what my nozzle collection looks like since I was a little kid, man. Like from the 1/2-inch brass Elkhart smoothbore on the booster line, at Midway, man. Like, dude, like, just, I mean, that's it all day long. There's nothing more enjoyable than just fucking flowing water, man. Just being on a nozzle, throwing water at a drill tower.
Love it. Rob Fisher said you're already at 10. So he says you're at 10. So you're good. He says he's counting his answers from the text messages. All right. Water. Yeah. Okay. Knob is the job. And that's 5 for 5 max points. That is I think that's the third time. I don't know if we had the 5 questions. I think we had them around on 100. Did we have them on? I don't know, but you've answered them a lot. You're very consistent on the ones that have been around for a long time. And I love your answers on the new ones, including the Gustin Lombardo Smith on your crew, which is fantastic. Yep. All right, Chief. It's a free-for-all. I'm done with the audience questions. Anything you want to yell at them that you haven't got a chance to share yet?
Yeah, I just going to hit a couple things, man. The fire service as a whole has got to open up to new ideas, man. Like we can't go through this fog versus smoothbore debate in the fire service and it take 2 decades, automatic to low pressure. Like the amount of time it took us collectively and hundreds of people are involved to get people out of 80, 100 PSI automatic nozzles to 150 at 50, to smooth bores, to get people to understand, you can move water for 2.5 and 3 inch. You don't always need a damn LDH hose. Like we just can't keep doing that in regards to getting these cellar nozzles and Breslin nozzles back on engines as options for, weird fires, void space, attics, down the side of a building where you got a fire burn exterior of a multi-story mid-rise or high-rise, having things like the bent tip that you can screw on there for void space fires, the floor below nozzle. And the FDNY, man, they made fun of it. And then finally the FDNY bought it and said, man, the fire's changing. Like we look at that fire in Harlem 18 months ago where they did them roof rope rescues. Those people would have been trapped 40 years ago. They'd have got out because the fire growth would have been slower. They'd have had more time. So the fires are burning crazier in the same freaking building. That's not a debate anymore. So we have to have these new tools, the attic nozzles, the floor below nozzles, getting the Breslin nozzle out, knowing when to use an electric fan versus a gas fan. All those things are just critical. We got to stop being like stubborn. We're going to stop saying, well, my Phillips head and flatheads worked. Well, yeah, I'm going to build this cabinet in 1/10 the time because I got a nice drill right here. This impact wrench drill that's going to fucking screw the screw faster. Your shit worked, but we got something newer, better. Embrace the technology. Let's embrace the technology. And stop thinking it's not going to happen to you. Like I said, man, chief officers, and even come, our job's to eliminate complacency. It's not to tell somebody something they don't know. It's to not let somebody do something they shouldn't be doing, right? That's what leadership, supervision, that's what accountability is. It's back to school, man. You know what? It's a fresh start. Let's get some new clothes. Let's get some new pencils, some new folders. If you haven't been doing roll call as a company officer, today's the day. I don't give a shit. You've been a company officer for 14 years. Embarrass yourself. Go in and say, you know what? I haven't done this the best, but we're going to start doing a roll call sheet at breakfast, and we're going to cover who's riding where, who needs to go to do personal stuff. When are we going to the grocery store? What's the weather? Somebody put up the flag. The drill's going to be this today. Since we worked last, they used the K-12 and they use a hydraulic tool. So let's double check them. Let's make sure that there's fluid in the TNT tool. It's not like, do the job, man. Everybody loves the Blue Angels. They dress sharp in them jumpsuits. They come back and kick ass and sit there and like pretend like they're doing a joystick in an office. They're not even in a cockpit. We ought to be trying to be a little bit more like the Blue Angels. We ought to be trying to be a little bit more like the Blue Angels. Stop being too cool for school. Get your ass back in school and educate yourself. You're never too old to go back to school, man. Like, don't put down education. Don't put down, training, and have a balance, if you will. But just like study this shit, man. Like, if you don't know what a PRV valve is, Google it, look it up, read it, especially if you're going to buildings that have them. Like, if you can't tell me how long your K-12, your partner saw run on a full tank of gas, then get your ass next time you're on duty and run that shit and time it. So when you take the K-12 to a roof, is it going to work? I mean, is it going to like run out of gas, or is it going to get the job done? You need to bring a fuel, can of fuel, or should you bring a second saw in case you run out of gas? You got that saw there. How long's your batteries going to last on your Milwaukee or your D-Wall? Are you numbering your batteries to know, hey, number one's always the best battery? If you got 4 batteries, number 4, because you have to renumber. You just change it with a sticker. 4 is the one that don't work. I've said this before. Thermal imager, if you got more than one thermal imager battery, when you're going into a working fire, into a fucking building, you need the best tick battery that's going to last the longest. I had a system for my batteries for my portable radios when I went to a fire. Same thing with my MSA personal thermal imaging camera. Yeah, I got my own personal camera. And I knew which battery lasted, the longest. And by the way, I had my own nozzles in the 90s, I had my own irons, my own hook, and they didn't provide it. I bought this shit. I'll tell you what I've been telling people in rookie schools since I started teaching rookie schools in the mid-90s. And when I taught as an OPS instructor at the Florida State Fire College. Aircraft mechanics like Dan Bender, most of them fucking buy their own tools. Well, my dad was an aircraft mechanic. He bought his own tools. People that build your house, nobody bought them their tools. They bought their nail gun. They bought that big-ass toolbox in the back of their $100,000, $2,500 pickup truck. Buy your own tools.
I love it, man. Gerard Man says, man, Chief gets me going. I feel like I could run through a wall now. That's the way I think a lot of people.
Here's the deal. If you hadn't heard us say, stop fucking saying somebody's too smart to be in a fire service. You just want stupid people? I can't tell you, talk behind my back or told me in person. I said it on stage in front of 500 people at Pensacola Beach. Another fucker comes up and tells me that my kids are too smart to be a firefighter. I'm going to punch him in the face. Like, you think Vincent Dunn, was he too smart to be in a fire service? John Norman, too smart? The list goes on and on. Like Chief O'Hagan, guy was a fucking genius.
Yeah.
Like, the fire service has been changed by some of the brightest minds in the world. We should be recruiting kids from Harvard to come in a fire department. Hell, now some of you paying enough to do it. Hell, I see starting firefighter pay in Texas $99,000. Know what the hell they're doing over there, Lone Star State? And no fucking beef and cattle cost that much these days.
It's literally holding a tiger by the tail. That's what I'm doing here. This is it's always amazing. It's always amazing.
And for those that in the Senate, like, you know what? I didn't push my kids into fire service. Absolutely. Jessica will tell you, I worked at making sure they went and tried stuff. I want my kids to be happy. That's all I want. Like, you know what I mean? They're not too good to do anything. If they want to be a school teacher, do you know how many, like, Einstein type people are teaching at high schools, middle schools, elementary schools? I mean, some of the brightest minds are teaching at school. You want stupid people teaching your kids? These teachers getting paid $50,000 a year. They got a PhD and a master's degree, and they're teaching at a school because they love teaching. I'm going to tell you right now, you want a better fire service, a stronger fire service? Start recruiting just one person. If we all recruited one good person, you got to be talking at the football field, the baseball field, the soccer field. Don't be talking negative about the fire service. And I don't want to embarrass him. Hopefully he's asleep. But your guest last night, West Point graduate, military officer, PhD. I'd fucking have to punch somebody in the face if they say, well, he's too smart to be in the fire service. I mean, Dan Majikowski, he's not actively riding a fire truck, but he's in a fire service at UL and FSRI, key stakes. guys are sharp as shit. Like, what would we have without these people? Like, it just blows my mind that people could stand in a firehouse and belittle themselves. That's what they're doing, belittling our occupation. Like only stupid people should work at a fire. It's only for people that just want to graduate high school and they want a job. That's great. Don't misread me. But we need some of the brightest minds, man. We need more Kyle Smiths working in a fire service. I'm just like, we need all types of people. And the fire service got some of the brightest minds in the world because they got book sense, they got street sense, and they got common sense.
I love it. Yeah. Everybody
Right.
said, go ahead.
Hey, I'm gonna say it now, just for everybody listening. 10 minutes and we're done. Is that
Solid.
fair?
Solid.
That'll be 3 hours. We'll go 11 minutes so we can say we broke 3 hours and we're done.
That's again, you're the tiger. I'm just holding on. I'm trying. Yeah, I don't want to cut anybody off. If anybody has something they want to throw at Chief Ike, throw it up there. I'll still throw it and ask it. We'd gone through most of the questions.
Hey, and for those people that, hey, and if you're still listening right now, if you didn't win a pass, if you register for Water on the Fire or the Fire Officer Boot Camp, they're both the same week at the Hilton in November. It's a secret. If you use the word Memphis and the discount code, all capital letters, it's 50% off. But it'll have to be just tomorrow. It's not going to be for listeners later. So if you register for Water on the Fire, Fire Officer Boot Camp, Memphis, all capital letters, 50% off. If you have any problems with it, email me at cftactics@gmail.com, my email address, and I'll fix the problem for you. That's just because your dumbass has been listening to me for 2 hours and 51 minutes. Hey, I'm not going to get into it tonight, but in the future, I just want to talk about some different stuff about like training, positives and negatives about 24/72, 48/96. In regards to operational shit, I think this was some topics,
Yes.
Association by affiliation, and like, you know, just the whole, how we're going to maintain a legacy as a team for the fire service to be stronger when we leave. And I was real motivated. Chief Vincent Dunn wrote something 2 days ago about you're not done. You're still a firefighter when you retire. And he talked about like Dennis Compton, you know, John Salka, Anthony Avillo, and people that are retired, and they're doing just as much or more effective in the fire service. You know, the one thing I'm excited about is I'll be able to do more for the fire service on a global scale in the future than I have in the past, because it's going to be my focus. I'm going to be able to hopefully motivate more people, be available to more people, and make a bigger difference. Like being able to go the whole week to the UL thing. Like if I still was full-time at Escambia, I was going to probably have to cancel and not go to UL or FSRI just because there's just too much. I couldn't be off.
Dude, it's going to be.
You want to make a difference, get outside your neighborhood.
All right, Chief. I'm gonna land this plane on the 11:01 mark, 11:01 Central.
Awesome.
I'm gonna land this plane. I want to know. Well, you already got the 5 questions under your belt. So the one question I want to ask you is, well, we have private conversations and we can keep those that we're working on. But who is someone you think should be on the scrap? And I know not everybody knows all 300 or so people that have been on the scrap, but who's someone you think needs a scrap?
Tim Nagum.
Ooh. No, Tim.
Senior firefighters perspective. Yeah, Tim Nagum. You know, Tim Nagum, he's the guy who's back in the trailer when he got here. Tim is like the ultimate, senior firefighter, that, you know, and he works all over our county, and that guy's been to a shitload of fires. And he's just like very well diverse in so many things. I mean, shit, I don't know if you know, Todd's using him all the time. You know, I'm using him all the time. He's making shit happen at the conferences, but he was a volunteer in the 90s. He actually went to FDIC in 1998, and he'll be going to FDIC this next year. But I think he would just be awesome on a scrap.
Sweet. No, my big interaction with him was one time I had two guys who had flight trouble coming to a CFT conference, and he allowed me to take his truck to the airport and pick them up. And because they came in like a day late because of their flight troubles. And it was just
Okay.
that was my first interaction with Tim. And he was just like, yeah, here, take my truck, go. I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
thanks. Yeah.
Oh yeah, brother. Always. He was big, like does a lot of stuff for the union, so he's all around, like ate up with the fire service.
No, yeah, Tim's solid. Okay, great. I love it. The next thing is a challenge for the scrap listeners that they need to get done before the next scrap, which is going to be on Tuesday. So it's a short week. They also have Hageman's challenge that they also have to do. But the challenge from Chief Ike, I'm not going to shortchange him. You get to throw a challenge at him.
Go read a Bill Guston article. Go read a Bill Guston article, and then go listen to his keynote that he did at FDIC.
Boom.
Yep.
There's your challenge. And that's very doable by next Tuesday. You got
Friday,
Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You got 5 days to read one article and watch a keynote. Everybody wins.
I mean, Gus is like the longest standing like editor at Fire Engineer Magazine, like like reviewing articles. I mean, it's like 30 some years, but I mean, he's in the top 10 of having the most articles probably in fire engineering. I'm not positive about that. I mean,
oh, he'd have to be. Tom.
Yeah.
Like Tom Brennan with his random thoughts. But
Bill Gus, he's got so many articles that pertain to rural, suburban, and urban, man. Like engine company operations, water supply, you name it.
I love it, man. What a great scrap, Chief. It's been a crazy 2025 for me and you. We both. I don't think anybody had it on the bingo card that Chief Curt Isakson and Corley Moore would retire from their active, departments in 2025. Not from the fire service, because it is a journey. It is not a destination.
So I will share this with you. I would say most likely, if I survive long, I will probably work for a fire department again. Right now, I'm just backing off with Catherine being a senior in college, Lucas being a sophomore in college, and just working on being a better husband, a better father, family man, my personal health. And I'm about to do my EMT online. I've never had my EMT. I'm going to get my EMT, my Florida EMT. And then I've already got it with Columbia Southern.
Nice.
And I'm going to finish out my degree. I have everything I think I need for my 2-year degree. I just never worried about it. But for the first time in my life, I'm going to build a paper resume to go with my overall resume of my experiences, my career, my reputation, whatever you want to call it. And I'm not looking to be a fire chief, but I would like to, before I'm done, I'd like to go somewhere and be a deputy chief of operations or operations and training or special operations, or, a line deputy chief or something like that. 5 years max, go somewhere, be able to go in there, make an impact, make a change at that level of experience, emotional intelligence, and be the leader that I've never been, but I know I can be based on failure, success, and then retire out from there on the highest note that I can as an individual. That's how I'd like to close out, my final chapter. So for those wondering, I am looking down the road to actually go work for another fire department. It's just not right now in recent future times, because I'm not moving away from the dock, the boat, the neighborhood. When that time comes, if I needed to move somewhere, I would just keep all this. And by then my kids are out of college. Jessica and I could afford to go somewhere, rent a condo or apartment that's furnished, leave this here and, come home for the weekend or, do whatever. Right now I can't afford shit with sorority fees, fraternity fees, parking fees, swamp football tickets. And I don't know if you noticed, but we won a national championship in basketball this last year. I watched almost every basketball game. So I'm going to be watching more basketball, going to home games. University of Florida is the only college to win a national championship in football, basketball, and baseball. Thank you.
I love it, Chief. I love it. And we are at 11 o'clock on the nose. So I'm going to do the wrap up. And I will say, first and foremost, Chief Ike, thank you for coming on scrap number 313 and bringing your passion and your energy and sharing your evening with us once again. It looks good on you, Chief. It looks good.
I love it.
I want to figure out what to do as far as now that you have 6, because like, they put the stripes on the Class A uniform for, 5, 10, or to 20, rank. And then the stars for the 5. Yeah. I'm trying to think of something to do like that where you can get.
No, don't do anything, because you don't want it to be like the guys that all got these coats love each other. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Like, we're all friends.
Yeah.
It's
no,
like,
absolutely.
you don't want it to, I would never want, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
you make it a
don't
competition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because,
Okay.
Yeah. Because I'll tell you what's going to happen. You do something like that, and let's just say you call me and you're like, hey, Ike, man, I'd like you to come on a scrap. You haven't been in a while. I'm liable to say no, because like, I don't want to be like, you know what I mean? Not that it is, but I don't want to be like coming on there more than Chief Scott Thompson. You know what I'm saying? Or Robert. I mean, those guys are my friends. So don't do that.
It's supposed to be fun.
I won't come on the fucking scrap no more.
It's supposed to be fun. So no, we want you to come back. There's still almost 200 people still watching.
I don't need no strikes, man.
Okay, fair enough.
But hey,
Nick's on.
We're gonna have to get those guys to bring their coat to water on the fire, or a cut where they're all gonna be there, and get one picture of all of us.
Yes, I would love it. I would love it, man. That would be that. Yeah. So, I think it's amazing. It started as a joke, but it really is fun. I really am proud of it, and so
you should be proud of it. The only fucking people making fun of it is the motherfuckers that ain't got one.
I love it. I love it. All right, Chief. Thank you. I said thank you, so thank you. But coming up next 3 weeks, one thing I didn't realize when I put the scrap on the schedule that I did is that I can't just move it around willy-nilly. And that's the reason we had a back-to-school special, because I'm booked all the way into December with guests. And so the next time something comes up that I want to have it, I either put it in December or I have a special. That's why there was a back-to-school special, is because I wanted to have Ike on. And he usually does his back-to-school special from the dock. He was gracious enough to do the back-to-school special on the scrap. And so I say thank you for that. But all that being said, I am on vacation with the family and my parents. And there are 3 guest hosts of the scrap. Next week, it is National Fire Radio's Jeremy Donch coming on to host. The week after that, it will be Scott Hewlett of Multiple Calls Podcast. And the week after that will be Jake Barnes of 3 Point Firefighter Podcast. And all 3 of those guys are bang up professionals. And I look forward to what they do with the scrap while I am on this vacation. And so enjoy them. And I told them to have fun and take it whatever direction they wanted. So those are coming up. All that being said, thank you so much, audience, for tuning in live. You make the scrap magical each and every week. Your questions are always right down the guest's wheelhouse, and you allow them and set them up to look great. And you did so tonight for Chief Ike, and he absolutely delivered. The energy lived up to the hype, Chief, as always. So thank you.
Thank you, man. It's an honor to love the fire service and be a part of the greatest occupation in the world, the job.
I love it. Audience, I hope the tone stays silent unless it is burning. This job will never be safe, so stay smart out there.